and Hare with a man in motion. It's Strickland. He wants to throw the wheel route. Does he have time? Throws it, ball batted in the air. That's a fumble. And it doesn't matter who recovers. Ashton Brooks-Williams causes the fumble. They're going to say an incomplete pass, and the Cadets defense come up big, and they turn it over on downs.
This is Connally Cadets Football, presented by Mazzana Construction, building trust with quality work since 1969. American Bank, face-to-face banking, state-of-the-art technology, local decisions. Parsons Roofing, it's not just a roof, it's our reputation. Sturdasteel spectator seating for grandstands, bleachers, and press boxes with design, engineering, and fabrication at sturdasteel.com.
Gaither, right side, leans, and scores. Touchdown. Connally, touchdown. Kavion Gaither.
And Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, Southwest Sports Medicine.
Gaither rolls right side, runs right side, gets loose right side. Kavion down near the goal line. Touchdown. Connally.
Connally Cadets Football is also sponsored by
Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, the First National Bank of Central Texas, Petty Clinic Low T, the Willis Law Firm, Graham Properties, Richard Carr Motors, Halo Athletic Center, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, First Central Credit Union, Camille Johnson Realty, Boozer's Jewelers, Bird Culchin Ford. Here's David Smoke, Paul Catalina, and Craig Smoke.
Well, good evening from Cougar Stadium in Gerald, Texas, just a little bit, an hour south of Waco, Texas, just south of Salado and just north of Georgetown. It is a gorgeous day and a little bit of a fall temperature with very heavy wind coming from the north in District 9 4A Division II tonight. Connally Cadets trying to get back on track against Gerald, a team that had a huge win last week against Robinson in a game that they had to win to make the playoffs. Connally feels pretty good about their playoff hopes, and obviously a win tonight will only strengthen that after the loss last week against Salado. In fact, just north of us in Salado, a great game in District 9 4A Division II, and Connally will keep their focus here on Gerald, but a game that they'll have their eyesight north of us as China Spring and Salado play. And if Connally has any chance to have a piece of the district championship, they would hope that China Spring would win that game to give them a shot down the road if, in fact, they can take care of business tonight. Next week at home against Gatesville. At the end of the year, a game on the road against China Spring. It has really been an inconsistent year for Shane Anderson and the Cadets. They are 3-3. Remember, they had the nice win to open the year against Sunnyvale. Lost in a tough, hard-nosed rivalry game against La Vega, then lost a game at home to Springtown. They just did not have much for whatever reason. And then they were able to kind of turn things around, beat Palestine, started district with a win, and against Robinson in a big fashion. But last week they ran into a team in Salado that just outplayed them. Outplayed them, the smarter in a lot of different ways when it comes to discipline and also the lack of penalties, which has killed this Connally team for most of the year, even in the loss to La Vega and the loss to Springtown and then the loss last week to Robinson. So Shane Anderson and his team will try to go back on track. They're a heavy favorite tonight against the Cougars of Gerald. Gerald coming off the win. Amos Davidson, who, by the way, the hospitality here today throughout the day at Gerald Stadium, Cougar Stadium, has been fantastic. But, Paul, last week we all picked Salado in that game as far as our pick 'em. We did it because we've seen now evidence. What was 5 weeks with Connally, now it's 6 weeks with Connally. And if they can't clean things up, it doesn't matter where they end up in the district standings or a chance to win a district title. They're not going to go very far.
No, they've got to clean up the penalties. Our stat of the game, I told this to somebody as I was driving down here today. Our stat of the game last week really rings true with me in that Salado had 10 yards in penalties. Connally had 120. That's why they lost the game. And I even told it to Amos Davidson today, asked me about that. Did they really? I said, yeah. I said, he was asking, like, was it the crew? Was it this? I said, no, it's mostly, I mean, sometimes you're going to run against a crew that calls a lot of penalties, but it's mostly Connally. It's just what they've done all year. It's who they are. They get penalties called on them. It's just what happens.
And I'm telling you right now, we know that Shane Anderson at halftime, when Craig spoke with him, he was fuming because his own teammates got into it. We know what happened between Torrey Pone and Lamarcus Mcdonald. And then again, he's had to kind of talk about focus. And 1 week it was commitment, and 1 week it was discipline. And when you have those weeks, those words each week, which he learned from Terry Gamble, who's now the head coach at Allen when he was on his staff at Midway, that all sounds great, but that doesn't mean it happens. That doesn't mean your guys buy in, your team buys in. Connally last year had that great run. They were 12-1, lost in the third round to Gilmer, and right now they're 3-3 after the loss to Salado, 20-15. Connally is a team that has been to the playoffs 17 times, and they've been to the playoffs each of the last 2 years, and this district really is open for them to make it 3 because, well, Gerald, Robinson, and Gatesville are all struggling. We saw what they did to Robinson just a couple of weeks ago. Meanwhile, Gerald, they're not going to probably have a chance against Salado or Connally. And I'm not trying to just say this game is over because you never know when the wind's blowing like it is. You never know with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. But if they can beat Robinson and Gatesville, they're going to make the playoffs. And they got the win against Robinson last week. So all of a sudden this week for Amos Davidson and company has been extra special as far as the focus because there's that carrot hanging up in there in front of them. You know, Hey, you've gotten the win against Robinson. We got to get better. We beat Gatesville. We're going to make the playoffs no matter what happens with China Springs, Salado, and tonight against Connally.
Yeah, and Amos Davidson said that the focus is obviously week to week, but they know that they have an opportunity now because they got that win against Robinson. And so the Gatesville game's out there, and you never know what's going to happen in a game. And Connally is much more talented than Gerald is right now. But Gerald, I know that they feel like they're a team that might be on the come a little bit.
All right, they do have some players out. Their roster is depleted. He sent me a roster, Amos Davidson did, and there's about 20 players on the roster because players hurt, out for whatever particular reasons. Update, by the way, in baseball, the Astros trying to extend the series with Tampa. Down 1-0, top of the fifth. They scored 4 runs. It all started on a sacrifice bunt that moved runners over from first to second and third. George Springer had a 2-out single. Altuve had a base hit. And now it's 4-1 Houston as they go to the bottom of the fourth. The Astros trying to come back from the dead. We will hear from Connally head coach Shane Anderson, Paul's player profile. We'll look at the rest of the district, including that game that's about 15 or 20 miles north in Salado, and what all of it means. Thanks to U.S. Army, Waco Recruiting Company, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, McLennan County Agents, and Southwest Sports Medicine, presenting sponsors of Connally football. But this broadcast and our broadcast throughout the year, not possible without Masonic Construction, without Parsons Roofing, and also without Jenner Jones. Of course, we appreciate what he's done, Sturta Steel, and the great folks there. And also, on top of that as well, we appreciate First National Bank of Central Texas for what they do. First Central Credit Union for their sponsorship on 106.7 Eagle FM. When we come back, the district standings. This is Sikkim 365 Radio.
365 Radio High School Football Showcase is sponsored by the U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company at GoArmy.com or 254-598-8131.
Boots add protection. Good boots help you climb better and move forward faster. And when your son or daughter steps into the boots of a U.S. Army officer, they also learn how to lead. In these boots, they'll gain more confidence with expert training in one of more than 150 occupational specialties. In these boots, they'll stand a little taller and lead a team with diverse backgrounds and areas of expertise to successfully accomplish whatever challenge comes next. In these boots, they'll earn respect with valuable experience from day one that will give them solid footing for success into the future. Highly qualified candidates who earn a spot on our team can receive comprehensive health care coverage, college tuition assistance, and a bonus of up to $40,000. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
First Central Credit Union has expanded our playbook. Ready to kick off as a first-time home buyer? Having a hard time making the first down? First Central's open door mortgage loans up to 95% of the appraised home value. Our starting lineup includes low closing costs, no points, low origination fees, flexible terms, and competitive rates. Thinking about mortgage refinancing? This way works for you too. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We are opening doors to home ownership at First Central.
Some restrictions apply. Rates subject to change. Equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
The District 9 4A Division II update is brought to you by Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, your friend in the car business on Loop 340 and east of 84 in Waco. Come by. Let's be friends.
6 teams in District 9 4A Division II. China Spring and Salado both 2-0. Both with some lopsided wins in the first week, and then China Spring with another one last week. But turned around, Salado beat Connally in a huge matchup, 20-15. They're playing tonight in Salado. 6-1 Salado, unbeaten China Spring at 6-0 for the District 9 4A Division II lead. For Connally, they have to continue to take care of their business. To have any piece of the district title, they need China Spring to win tonight, and then hope that when they play China Spring, the Cougars on the road at the end of the year, that there's still a chance to get a piece of a 3-way tie with the district title. Meanwhile, Connally and Gerald are playing tonight for third place, both 1-1. Gerald 1-6 overall. Win against Robinson. Connally 3-3 after the loss last week to Salado. Robinson and Gatesville at the bottom of the district at 0-2. Robinson and Gatesville 2-5 Rockets against Gatesville. The Hornets 1-4, and they're playing tonight in Gatesville for a chance to stay alive in the 9-4A Division II playoffs. The winner and the teams that advance in this district will play teams like Carthage, Jasper. They're 4-0 and 6-0. Center, Madisonville, Rusk, and probably Shepherd is out of that mix, so they will all have some interesting games in round 1 against District 10. It all depends. You're seed 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's 9-4A Division II. When we come back, Paul Catalina's player profile and my conversation with Cadets head coach and alum Shane Anderson, live from Gerald Cougar Stadium on 106.7 FM The Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio.
Masonic Construction is celebrating 52 years as an award-winning, family-owned and operated business excelling in general construction and construction management. Masonic Construction is proud to support Connally ISD's tradition of excellence in education and athletics, including owners calling Connally High their alma mater, Vicky Masonic, class of 1974, and Aaron Miner from the class of 2002. Masonic Construction, celebrating 50-plus years by building trust with quality work. MasonicConstruction.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible and rewarding challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like our free First mobile app, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. That's the First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Tonight's Connally Cadets Player Profile is sponsored by Sturdasteel Spectator Seating for grandstands, bleachers, and press boxes with design, engineering, and fabrication at sturdasteel.com.
Our player profile this week is senior offensive lineman Jermaine Spurlark, who's a kid who loves his family, who loves his teammates, and loves fishing with his stepdad. But first, I talked about getting those penalties fixed and how they attacked that in practice this week, and here's what he had to say.
Our penalties, it's just mostly the emotions that was on it. That's the only thing that was holding us back.
Jermaine's a busy kid. Football, school, he's got a job, and he likes it that way. He likes being active. He likes being out. He likes being around. He doesn't want to be lazy. He wants to do things all the time, and that tells you a little bit about his character.
I won't have to be lazy a lot. I could just be active, run around a lot, most likely, be active.
Every week I always ask the players who their go-to person is, who their kind of moral center, their Jiminy Cricket, their confidant, their consigliere, if you will, for the Godfather fans out there. And Jermaine, other than the coaches, is his stepfather, Gerald. And they have a very, very close and special relationship. Just listen to how Jermaine puts it here.
I mean, he's the best father I ever had. Yeah. I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't even be here right now if it was without him.
I talked to his stepdad, Gerald, about the family focus, the way that not only he approaches his teammates like a family, but the way that Jermaine approaches his family. And that's taught in the home and really stressed from Gerald and the rest of the family.
I mean, you know, that's what we try to teach in the household, you know, is you know, a tight-knit family, you know. What I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you know, it kind of takes a village to raise a child. So I try to keep the family tight-knit. Pretty much the kids, you know, you take care of your brothers and sisters, you look after your brothers and sisters, and love each other, you know.
One of his favorite things to do with his stepdad, Gerald, is go fishing. And for Gerald, that was something that was instilled in him at a young age. And as soon as he came in Jermaine's life, he instilled it in him as well and brought that enjoyment and that hobby to them together.
Our fishing trips are very interesting. Like, we mostly go for catfish, but it's basically we go for the sport, you know. Mm-hmm. And I've been fishing since I was a child. My dad had me fishing, and when I got with his mother, and he haven't never been fishing. You know, my kids, you know, they go often, and I took them fishing for the first time. I showed them, you know, how to cast. I showed them how to bait his hook, and you know, he turned out to really be a natural. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He turned out to be a natural, man. It wasn't too much I had to show him, and he just caught on pretty quick and, you know, just fell in love with it like I did.
And that's not all they have in common. They have a deep, deep love of football. After they go fishing, they usually go and watch a Baylor game or any football game that's on television. They love it that much. And for Gerald, he gets to live vicariously through his son, through the love of football.
I'm going to tell you, watching my son play football is like me having a second chance, you know, because I'm an athlete myself. Mm-hmm. And, you know, being an athlete yourself, you know kind of the wrongs and the rights and different things you did that, you know, benefited you and what didn't, you know. And me watching them on the field is like, I love the game. And for my son to play, I just want him to be the best player, best athlete he can possibly be, you know. I want him to do great.
Now you see why I say family is really important to the Spurlarks. And it spills over onto the field. Listen to how Jermaine describes playing every day with his teammates.
Yes, sir. I love every time I come out here on the practice field, I get to cherish these moments with my brothers. I love them most likely.
And that's our player profile of senior offensive lineman Jermaine Spurlark, and special thanks to his stepdad, Gerald, for a really, really great talk. David Smoke's up next with head coach Shane Anderson. This is Connally Cadets Football on 106.7 The Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio.
With a proven performance reputation spanning 85 years, Sturda Steel operates with one sole purpose, producing the highest quality seating solutions with the best and most efficient processes in the industry. With engineered, fabricated, and installed grandstands and bleachers all across North America, whether seating 50 to 50,000, the skill and versatility of our workmen are evident in the quality and precision work detailed on every bleacher and grandstand project. Sturda Steel, family owned and operated since 1934 at sturdasteel.com.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
Mazzana Construction is celebrating 52 years as an award-winning, family-owned and operated business excelling in general construction and construction management. Mazzana Construction is proud to support Connally ISD's tradition of excellence in education and athletics, including owners calling Connally High their alma mater, Vicky Mazzana, class of 1974, and Aaron Miner from the class of 2002. Mazzana Construction, celebrating 50-plus years by building trust with quality work. MazzanaConstruction.com.
The biggest, the baddest, and proven to be the best. Ram is back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now, get the Ram you've been waiting for less from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels. A new loaded-up 2020 Ram 1500 Longhorn 4x4. Now with a whopping $12,000 off, and first responders receive an additional $500. Big summer clearance event savings from the Ram leader, Alan Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Ask for details. All offers with approved credit.
This interview with Connally Cadets AD and head football coach Shane Anderson is brought to you by Parsons Roofing, America's #1 Duralast company since 1948 at parsonsroofing.com.
Connally football coach Shane Anderson with me on Sikkim 365 Radio. Well, you know, there's times during a season, and you've had a couple of those after La Vega, after the Springtown, and now this one with Salado, where you played well, but you didn't play well enough, and you had some of the same things that cropped up. What's the message this week as you face Gerald on the road?
We just have to do a better job focusing. Our word of the week is focus. Talk to the kids first and foremost. We have to focus, on the penalties. Way too many penalties. Anytime you lose the penalty battle, 12-3. You can look at penalties however you want to look at them. At the end of the day, they're a penalty. The flag's on the ground and they go against you. And so, we have to accept that. As a football team, as a coaching staff, and we have to do a better job of eliminating penalties. So we have to focus there. I challenge the kids to focus on themselves, not only as a player, but as a teammate. Are you being the best teammates you can be, each and every day, each and every week? And, and then focus on being a playoff football team, because that's what we're going to be. And, just a bump in the road, and we got to pick ourselves up, and we got to move on, and we got to pick up these next 2 wins and then get ready for a China Spring team in a couple weeks.
I know that you and what you've represented and what, discipline means to you. And I know at times that's a challenge. When you hear that your team is undisciplined, or you see that your team is undisciplined, how much does that hurt you?
Oh, it's embarrassing. I mean, it bothers me a ton, and we address that with our team, and we had a little event right there before the half that's totally unacceptable, but then you got to go look at yourself in the mirror. I have to look at myself in the mirror as a head coach. When you put a lot of pressure on kids and you hype up a game like we hyped up the game last week, and you put the pressure and you tighten the screws on kids, then you got to be prepared for for them not to respond, like you want them to. Maybe respond like a kid, and you got to keep that in perspective as a coach and as a man. And you got to use it as a teachable moment. You can't let it define your season. You got to let it be part of your story. And at the end of this thing, we'll look back and hopefully learn from it.
Well, okay, so it's on the road against Gerald. They're struggling. Their roster's depleted. They did have a win. They had a huge win against Robinson. I like Amos Davidson and what he's trying to do there. Your thoughts about what they have? Because obviously right now they're very low on numbers.
Yeah, Coach Davidson, he's a heck of a guy and heck of a coach. And, when you turn on the film, obviously they got that big win against Robinson last week. And then when you look at them, they're not broke. The first thing that stands out is they are well coached. By scheme, you can tell that they know what they're doing. You can tell by scheme that they're going to give their kids an opportunity to be as successful as possible. And then their kids play extremely hard, and they play for 4 quarters as hard as they can play. And you got to respect that, and you got to go in there and you got to make sure that you don't give them any hope or false hope, and you got to get after them from the word go.
Their tailback Derek Warren has nearly 1,000 yards. He seems to be the straw that stirs their drink.
Yeah, he's definitely that, and he's super athletic. He can take it to the house at any time against anybody, and you get him in a one-on-one matchup, he's going to win those most of the time. And so we got to do a great job of containing him and do a great job overall.
This is really your first true road trip. You played La Vega, that's across 35. China Spring in 3 weeks, that's down Lakeshore Drive, into China Spring area. So this is your first true road trip. Is that something that might be a good thing on a road trip, and then get a win and come on back and maybe have some time together a little bit longer than a home game?
Yeah, no doubt. I think anytime you can go on the road and win, that's big for your program. The scary part of all this is just all the COVID protocol and all the things. We're working on taking an additional bus than we'd normally take. Making sure we have our mask on, making sure we have the windows down and the ventilation on the bus. It's going to be a little chilly Friday night, a little cooler. So we've talked to the kids about, guys, we have to keep the windows down on the bus, and we have to wear our mask. We have to do all those things. But just getting away from here, not being cooped up in your own field house, getting on the road, going and eating somewhere, getting back on the bus and getting down there and getting locked in and trying to get a win. That's what it's going to be about.
Do you put the carrot up that you could still win a district championship? Is that the goal as you start these last 3 games?
Yeah, like I told the kids yesterday morning, the big deal is we'll know more after the Salado and China Spring game Friday night. Once we see the results of that, then we got to be honest with ourselves. We're not going to chase things that aren't obtainable. We're going to be honest with ourselves. We're going to look at, what the bracket will look like possibly from a second place or a third place seeding, and then, know that no matter what, we're going to have something to play for when we go to China Spring in a few weeks.
Connally football coach Shane Anderson with me. They played Gerald tonight on Sick on 365 Radio.
Masonic Construction is celebrating 52 years as an award-winning, family-owned and operated business excelling in general construction and construction management. Masonic Construction is proud to support Connally ISD's tradition of excellence in education and athletics, including owners calling Connally High their alma mater, Vicky Masonic, class of 1974, and Aaron Miner from the class of 2002. Masonic Construction, celebrating 50-plus years by building trust with quality work. MasonicConstruction.com.
Parsons Roofing has been serving Central Texas since 1948, and we can handle your commercial roofing needs from repair to re-roofing. And no one handles more school than Parsons Roofing. Parsons Roofing has been named Contractor of the Year for 14 consecutive years. Parsons Roofing, a name Central Texans have trusted for over 70 years. It's not just a roof, it's our reputation. You can contact us today for a free roof evaluation, including hail claims at 877-881-1733 or on the web at parsonsroofing.com.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of health care while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of health care has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance, and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com. Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at goarmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Tonight's starting lineups and injury updates is sponsored by IdealMRI.com. IdealMRI.com. Premium quality MRIs, affordable. Now that's Ideal at IdealMRI.com.
This is the first meeting ever between these two teams, and this district was put together. Obviously, Connally had the 5 games with Salado. Salado leads that series 4-1. They'd never played Sunnyvale. They'd never played Springtown. They'd never played Gerald. They've played the next 2 teams. They will meet Gatesville quite a bit, and also China Spring. China Spring and Salado up the road. We'll update you on that game as we get it. Meanwhile, Connally will have the ball first to start this game. On the offensive line, left tackle Jermaine Spurlock, left guard is Torrey Pullen, center is Cody Kaufman, Junior Beatty, and also Kobe Gray, right guard and right tackle. It remains Kavion Gaither in that kind of the wildcat. He'll try to throw it a little bit early. They might be able to work on that. Also, Trey Weisner, David De La Fuente, Parrish Cox, Bronche Miles. They mix it in at H-back and wide receiver. Here's the kickoff, and this is McDonald. Had a 65-yarder last week and comes this way and turns the corner, and Lamarcus at midfield cuts it back to the right. Lamarcus runs over one of his own players. He's going to take this for a score on the opening kickoff. Lamarcus Mcdonald, 75 yards. He had a 65-yarder last week in the loss to Salado, and Lamarcus, with that big play potential, takes that to the house.
Yeah, just followed his blockers and then ran through one of them to get there, and that's kind of been waiting to happen, Craig. I've kind of been thinking that the Connally had the gumption to do that eventually.
Yeah, with all the athletes that they have, it's not a surprise they have the ability to do that. And Lamarcus Mcdonald is certainly one of those great athletes, so they are primed and ready. What a great start and what a great return. And
they look like they're lining up to kick the extra point with Morales, but they need a clean game, and I know that says a lot. They've only played, 15 seconds, but they run the kickoff back for a touchdown. There was no football on the extra point. The play clock is down inside 2, and I'm not sure if this will be a delay of game or not against Connally. They seem like they've reset it. It's the Central Texas chapter of officials. One of them was up in the booth earlier. Here's some movement on the line. People jumping off sides. Extra point by Morales. They never did signal if it was good or not, and there's flags from every human being as offsides against Gerald. Will cut it down another foot or two or maybe a yard or two. But Lamarcus Mcdonald in stride, as I mentioned. In fact, that last kick return a week ago does go 75 yards. And I'm not sure the official distance, but it was close to 75 yards. So Morales will kick it again. And it will be Torres Luna, the snap. The hold by Gaither, low hold, he gets it off the turf, and Morales very smooth with the extra point. 15 seconds into this game, 7-0 Connally over Gerald. This is 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
Explosive start for Connally. The Cadets show no effects at all after the loss to Salado. And one of the things that that Shane Anderson told me when I meet with him on Tuesdays was he built that game up against Salado as basically the district Super Bowl. You get a leg up with a win against Salado. Whoever got the leg up would have a tremendous amount of advantage. And Connally, sometimes no matter who you're playing, you can kind of dip your head. You also can feel sorry for yourself. Well, they've been through that already with losses earlier to La Vega and Springtown. What a nice explosive start on the opening kickoff. Kicking off for La Vega will be Luis Lerma.
Connally.
For Connally, it's going to be Luis Lerma. He'll kick off from the 40-yard line after Morales kicked the extra point. Derek Warren is back deep, and this young man is explosive. Jamari Price and Martin Torres back deep as well. Warren has 990 yards and 10 touchdowns on 149 carries this year. Here's a short kick, and here comes Gerald out close to the 40-yard line, the return by Jamari Price. His brother, by the way, Jelani, is also a part of this lineup for Gerald. Now, Emerson Kirby, Nathan Peralta, Julian Leal, Brenham Wilson, and Peyton Vidari are the offensive tackle to left tackle to right tackle. Camden Bruner, the tight end. Jamari Price, Martin Torres, and Joseph Crathers are the receivers. Derek Warren is the tailback, and again, he's pretty much the offense. Aiden Edgar, the quarterback, has thrown 6 interceptions and 4 touchdowns this year. Near side is Jamari Price. Gerald at their 38-yard line, down 7-0. Man in motion, Crathers. They give it to Warren off the left side of Warren, outside the 40 to the 45-6-yard line. Nice gain off the right side of that Gerald offensive line. Up front for Connally, it's Poland and Walker in tackles. De La Fuente, Brooks Williams, the ends. Gaither, McDonald, and Torres Luna, the linebackers. Stevens and Weisner, the corners. Long and Cox are the safeties. Gain of 7 from Warren on first down, and it's 2nd down and 3. Cougars at their 46-yard line. Beautiful night, but it's very windy. Here is a keeper from Edgar off the left side. He has plenty of room into Connally territory and into the Connally Cadets bench. Isaiah Stevens shoved him out of bounds at the 49, and that's a gain of 6 and a first down.
Yeah, a nice couple of plays for Gerald right off the bat there. They've gotten some good blocking up front, and they're not at an advantage at all on that side of the ball, but they've done well in the first 2 plays.
So first down at the Connally 49-yard line. Connally in their all-whites, beautiful-looking uniforms, the silver helmets, CC on the side, the blue trim. And here comes the keeper, Edgar. Outside, he's got Warren, who turns the corner. Shows tremendous speed deeper into Connally territory. Out at the 27-yard line, and that's a gain of 22 yards. He can flat out go 29 yards on 2 carries from Derek Warren to start this drive for Gerald.
Yeah, really. I mean, you can see that Gerald's got a little bit of burst, got a little bit of speed. I mean, I think ultimately what's probably going to do it for them tonight is that they just nobody overheld on the sideline other than the guys who are on the field, it seems like.
First down at the 27. Edgar back to throw. Wants to set up a screen pass in the flat to Crathers. He was going to lose some yardage, but he absolutely made a really nice little jab step, went to the sideline and picked up 2. Down to the 25-yard line. It is 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, that could have been really bad, but nice little move there to get positive yardage.
Greg Smoke in the sidelines every time you hear him. Brought to you by Texas Tour Gear. Ryan Davis in the booth. Deontay Epps is still in quarantine. We're thinking about you, man. And it's 2nd and 8. Gerald at the Connally 25. This is Warren off the left side. Bounces outside and then has to cut it back inside. Looked like he might have been able to get around the corner, but De La Fuente hemmed him in a gain of a couple of yards at the 23. 3rd down and 6. Connally 3-3, 1-1 in District 9 4A. Gerald 1-6, but the most important part, 1-1 in district play. And they will split receivers each way, 2 to the right side. Crathers in the slot near side. He goes in motion on 3rd and 6. They give it to Crathers off the left side and will be tackled short of the 20-yard line by Kavion Gaither. Got about 3 down to the 21-yard line. This will be 4th and 3 for Amos Davidson and the Cougars down 7-0 first quarter.
Yeah, I'm going for 4th downs as many times as I can tonight if I'm Amos Davidson. If it's reasonable, I'm going to do it because I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get.
Well, maybe not even your choice because the wind is so heavy, but it actually seems to be, I can't tell if it's going behind him or not, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 3. At the 21, Warren in motion. Edgar wants to throw, quarterback draw, and down out about the sticks. Craig says he's short at about the 18. David De La Fuente and Gaither made the tackle, and a nice defensive bend but not break drive, Craig, for Connally, and they get the ball back up 7-0.
Yeah, key play was right before that. Kavion Gaither took on a couple of blockers, still made the tackle for little to no gain, so it put him in a bit of a 4th and 3 situation. But nice job by the Connally defense. That opening kickoff return certainly took off a little bit of the edge, and now the offense back on the field.
All right, for offensively, we had given you the starting lineup. Gaither, the quarterback. De La Fuente and or Walker and or McDonald are the H-backs. It's De La Fuente and two backs split behind to the right side, both Powell and Weisner. This is Weisner, cuts it up the middle. There goes Trey. Weisner turns the corner. Watch out. 50, 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Trey Weisner just went.
No, it looks like he's out at the
Oh, they're going to mark
15.
him out at the 15-yard line. I never saw that, man. What an explosive run by Weisner. He went from the 19 to the 15. That's 66 yards, 2 touches, 75 and 66 yards for Connally. 66 yards. And you know what? And this is the thing about Trey. He's still 15 years old. He's so explosive. He has not shown up in some of the bigger games. They need him to do that. He picked up 66. This is Gaither. Powell cuts it inside, back to the right, inside the 5, down close to the 1. 1st and goal, Connally, just outside the Gerald 1-yard line. 3 minutes into this game, they already lead 7-0. Bruner and Crathers made the tackle for the Cougars of Gerald.
Yeah, I mean, Gerald's kind of powerless to stop up front for Connally. There's just so many more athletes that they have.
From the 1, full house in that gun. Gaither from the gun. Weisner to his left. Trey takes it and will walk in untouched. Touchdown, Connally. Touchdown, Cadets. 13-0, 8:45 to go in the first quarter.
And just a little read option off the right side, and Weisner took it in. There's really no resistance from Gerald so far.
He had the 66-yard run to set up this drive, and then the 14-yard run from Powell. We saw a lot of Jermone Powell last week. Here comes Morales again with the extra point attempt as Gaither kneels at the 10. Morales' kick is up, and it is good. And 8:45 to go in the first quarter. Connally on a 75-yard kick return, a 66-yard run that sets up 2 plays later the touchdown from Trey Weisner. 14-0 Cadets over Gerald. This is 106.7 The Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio. Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543. Derek Warren back deep for Gerald. Jamari Price back deep. And Jelani, his brother, back deep as well. Kicking off will be Lerma at the 40-yard line. And this has been an explosive start. And Shane Anderson and his team, his program, his staff and players, they needed this because of what happened last week, the tough loss, emotional loss to Salado in a game that was back and forth, but Salado dictated the last part of that second half, especially late in the first half and the second half as well. Kicking off Lerma from his 40, little short pooch kick that's caught by Price. That's Jamari Price. Price up the middle. He gets out close to the 45-yard line, so they are getting nice return yardage and great field position, but Connally up 14-0, tackled by Brooks Williams.
They're going to have to do something about this special teams coverage, Smokey. That's 2 good field position situations in a row for Gerald.
Connally defense bent but did not break on the 4th down. They got the stop at the 21-yard line, and next thing you know, there goes Trey Weisner for the long run. Temple jumped out early on Copper's Cove, 8-0 in that game in District 12, 6A. Back on the field, Edgar. On the 4th and 3, they had Edgar with the football, and they did not use Warren on that play. He will line up right behind him. H-back right side, 2 receivers both ways, man in motion, Crathers. And they'll give it to Warren off the left side. He gets loose, and Warren will have close to a first down at about the Connally 44-yard line. It is a first down, a gain of 11, as Parrish Cox III made the tackle.
It was a nice run there by
Warren.
By Warren, I'm sorry. Really, I mean, they've got some skill players, but you can tell they're just lacking up front, and they're lacking overall depth.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line of the Cadets. They'll take Torres, and he'll go to the right side in the slot. Both actually flankers in the old-fashioned way. 2 receivers behind the line of scrimmage. Man in motion is now Morris. Here's Edgar off the right side up the middle. He gets about 5 down to the 39. E.J. Torres Luna made the tackle. 5'10", 150-pound senior, had 32 tackles entering the year. And it's now 2nd down and 5. Luna looks like a kind of a big body.
Yeah, he does.
So 2nd down and 5, Gerald at the Connally 39. The center, Julian Leal, the junior. They'll have Torres off the left side. This is Warren, tries to bounce out left side and cuts it, and then stripped from behind. Nice job by Trey Walker, who moved inside this week. He'd been playing on the outside at defensive end. They've really moved a lot of the linemen around. They've had a couple of people leave. And nice job by Trey Walker, the senior, 200-pound senior, to make the tackle, no gain. Warren, 5 carries, 42 yards. Edgar has 13 yards on 3 carries, and it's 3rd down and 5. He'll run the option. Edgar will try to keep it. Now pitches it out, almost too late, and then kept it. Better idea. And Torres Luna knocked him down for a loss. Although they're going to give him, it's about a half a yard loss back to the 39.5. It's 4th down.
E.J. Torres Luna read that really well. He is that guy. He's always around the ball. He knows how to get there.
He moves around. They switch he and Jamari Wiggins out quite a bit. 14-0 Connally. 6:40 to go, first quarter. A kickoff return on the opening kickoff by Lamarcus Mcdonald for a touchdown, and the 1-yard run by Weisner, who earlier had a 66-yard run on their first real drive. 4th down and 5, maybe almost 6. And they'll bring Crathers over to the near side. Play clock at 1, and they don't get it off in time. They got to call timeout. Timeout, Gerald and Amos Davidson. 14-0 Connally. 6:23 to go, first quarter at Gerald. This is 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
Graham Property Company will give you the best opportunities and services to navigate and achieve your real estate goals. At Graham Property Company, we strive to establish lasting relationships built on service and performance. Whether you are buying, leasing, selling, or investing, our real estate portfolio and expertise can facilitate your needs, no matter what real estate or property need you may encounter. Graham Property Company, property sales, acquisitions, leasing, and management at GrahamInvestmentCo.com.
All right, back at Gerald. 14-0 Connally. Gerald faces 4th down and about 5.5, really. We'll say officially 6, just inside the Connally 40-yard line. Edgar in the gun, takes the snap, now flushed from the pocket by Walker, throws the ball deep down the sideline. The pass underthrown and caught. Now they'll say incomplete at the 12. Good coverage downfield. But I tell you what, that ball was underthrown. It almost gave Torres a chance to come back, but he couldn't come up with it. And for the second time, the Gerald moves into Connally territory. But on 4th down, they come up short, and the Cadets will get great field position just outside their 39.
Almost would have been better for it to be intercepted going to the ground there. At least you'd have had a worse field position.
Yeah, absolutely. Salado at home against China Spring. The Cougars have jumped out early in that game to lead 7-0. Boy, they've been really good. They're unbeaten against Salado, coming off the win against Connally from the 39, actually officially the 40. Gaither with a man in motion, Weisner to the right. 3 receivers that way. They throw it out to Weisner, caught it in the flat, goes to the sideline, makes the first man, now turns, and here he goes again. Trey 50. Weisner stiff arm, finally brought down inside the Gerald 35 of the 32. Man, he is explosive today. To the 32 for 28 yards, and he came all the way back across, and Jelani Price saved the touchdown.
It looks like they wrestled him down by his arm. That was wild.
That was a completed pass from Gaither. They tried to do that early in the year with not only Tyler Webb, but also with Gaither. They have not been able to get it done, but they did there. First down at the Gerald 32. Weisner right side, cuts it, now goes to the perimeter, now cuts it again, stiff arm inside the 15. Trey Weisner inside the 5 to the 3. Man, he had his Wheaties. Camden Bruner made the tackle at about the 4. Give him the 3. That's 29 yards, first and goal.
Yeah, and Weisner is just eating this Gerald team up right now.
97 yards on 3 carries, and first and goal, Weisner. The problem has been they need him to do that in the game, La Vega and Salado, and maybe that's why they're feeding him the rock now to give him momentum. Gatesville next week, and then the game at China Spring. First and goal from the 3. Gaither, this is Powell left side, stops short, leans across, and scores. Touchdown, Connally. Touchdown, Powell. Touchdown, Cadets. It's 20-0, Connally at Gerald with 5:28 to go, first quarter.
Yeah, nice reach by Powell there. Stopped short, but used every inch of his body to get it.
97 yards from Weisner on 3 carries. McDonald, 75-yard kickoff return. We'll look for the official length here when we can. Gerald jumps off sides again. Morales with the extra point. It's good. 21-0 Connally. 5:28 to go. Offsides against Gerald would be wiped out. They will decline it, and the kickoff to come. 21-0 Connally, first quarter, still about midway to go over Gerald. This is 106.7 Eagle. The Eagle, and also Sikkim 365 Radio.
Waco's newest gym, Halo Athletic Center, 5725 Bagby Avenue, right behind Region 12 and across the highway from the Central Texas Marketplace, where motivation, inspiration, and hard work are the driving force. State-of-the-art equipment, indoor and outdoor track, locker rooms, showers, yoga and bar classes by Duality Yoga, Bod Pod potty composition analysis, and registered dietitians, all under one roof, where we rise above. Come join the Halo Athletic Center and be a part of the change, your change.
Back at Cougar Stadium, 21-0 Connally. A kick return for a touchdown, a Weisner run, and the touchdown run that time as well by Powell kicking off Lerma at his 40-yard line. Has been all Cadets.
3 plays, 60 yards. It only took 45 seconds before Powell's 2-yard run. Makes it 21-0 Cadets. 5:28 to go in the first quarter.
And again, one of the things Gerald's done is they have moved the ball into Connally territory, but they've also started very well. Here's a kickoff that's going to bounce around, picked up, and then kicked around. Gerald will recover at the 16-yard line. That is Jamari Price. And Craig Smoke, we know that Gerald struggles 1-6, but boy, did Connally need to send some sort of message early to get this thing going, and they sure have.
Certainly, we've seen them get off to some slow starts or maybe struggle for a bit longer than desired, but there's been no struggles tonight. Offensive lines putting some good blocks out there, opening some massive holes, and Trey Weisner is just a man among boys, quite frankly. He's just a better athlete than everybody on the Gerald defense, and it's showing, but good to see him involved, good to see Powell involved, and I think everybody's going to have a chance to eat tonight.
All right, thanks to, I got feedback that Chewy runs the mothership, 106.7 The Eagle. Here's Edgar, little slant over the middle pass, caught by Crathers at the 21-yard line for a gain of 5. He went down on his knee to make the catch at a gain of 5, second down and 5. And as what Connally needs is China Spring to win at Salado to have any chance down the road for a possible piece of the district championship. So far, so good with that. Gain of 5. Crathers has 2 catches for 7 yards from Edgar, and 4:58 to go in the first quarter. I got to talk about Amos Davidson in a minute. About ever since the district came out, I'll tell you about some conversations. Paul, you've talked to him. This is Warren, a keeper, left side corner, outside and out of bounds, close to a first down. They're going to say he's a little bit short at about the 24-yard line. So the district came out, and he goes up from 3A Division I to 4A Division II. And he knows he's got shorthanded, and he shows me his roster tonight, and he's got several players missing. Got dealt the hand. He knows, but they did beat Robinson 30-27 last week. Great guy, access, hospitality, great field. What they've done with this stadium is fantastic.
Yeah,
Warren has now 6 carries, for 45 yards.
Just got moved up to the athletic director role here as well.
So 3rd down and 2, man in motion near side Crathers. Edgar to Warren, hitting the backfield, spun down, he'll lose yardage, and this might have to be a punt this time for Gerald. Nice job by Ashton Brooks Williams, who never seems to ever have a motor off for anything, and a loss of 3 back to the 19-yard line.
No, he runs hot. I mean, he's always back there. He's always doing something. And last week had a key 4th down stop that really, if they don't get that, they might have ever been back in that game, given how Salado was going at that time. So,
Caden Sanchez has been punting for Gerald. They have an offensive lineman come on late. Back is Kavion Gaither near midfield. I tell you, Ashton Brooks Williams, Trey Walker, and Torres Luna give this team so much energy. Here's a punt picked by Gaither off the bounce at the 50. Gets a block 40 at the 30. Gaither down the sideline. He will score. Touchdown. Flag is down, and it might be a blindside block at about the 35-yard line. They have the long kick return, and this is a punt return, and a flag is down at about the 35-yard line, and so is a Gerald player, as he was absolutely just pancaked at the 35-yard line.
Jamari Wiggins was the one that hit the block, and it's the same type of block you would see on any highlight film, but I guess in today's era, those things are quicker to draw a flag. But, I mean, it was the clean block that I grew up with, I'll put it that way, on a punt return, and really sprung the way for Gaither there. But it looks like the young man's okay, so that's good to see.
Yeah, that's the good news. It is Peyton Vidari, the right tackle, but there's also a player, Craig, down outside of field of play at about the 20-yard line as well, and they're looking at him. But this is going to come back. They're discussing it. The Central Texas chapter of officials are discussing the flag at about the 25. It is 21-0. This would be the second special team score if, in fact, it stands. But there is, as you said, a flag down at about the 30-yard line. This is Wilson, the right guard and right tackle, both on that punt return went down, and both of them, thank goodness, are up and walking. They're already depleted, Amos Davidson and the Cougars, and they surely cannot afford to lose many more. So here comes the officials. Referee is Daryl Peters Piccolo with the call. And it's going to be a personal foul, blindside block against Connally. It was great to see the back judge, Harlan Williams. He came up in the booth, said hi to us, listens to the show. Donzel Culberson, Phelan Curry, James Jones, as well as a part of the staff. Central Texas football chapter, Tasso, for the game tonight. And they'll start this drive now just inside Gerald territory at the 49.
Yeah, it was funny, Smokey. This is weird. One of my close family friends is also named Harlan Williams. Thought that was weird. He's 80, so I don't think he's reffing any games. I'll just tell you that right now. He's a spry 80, but I don't think he wants to be the back judge.
No, he wouldn't be able to keep up with the speed we've already seen in the first quarter, with 3:44 to go. Connally coming off the loss to Salado, dropped to 3-3 on the year. They'll bring Bronche Miles to the near side. They'll have Paris Cox III to the far side. And Wiggins now in the game at running back, along with Weisner. Gaither, the quarterback, who just ran that punt back about 50 yards, but it was called back for the personal foul on what is what they call the blindside block. From the 49 of Gerald, Gaither goes to throw. Has a man wide open down the field, and it cannot find his receiver Long. Boy, Kavion has to get that one back. Marcus Long Jr. was running completely free by himself down the field, and Kavion had all day. He just didn't get enough wind under it, air under it, and that would have been another touchdown.
I'll just disagree with you slightly. There was too much wind and air underneath it. It was a bit out of the grasp of Long, who dove for it and just could not come up with it. But he did a good job closing in on it. It looked like he was going to be well overthrown, but Long did a nice job in closing the gap and outstretched as best he could, but just couldn't hang on to it.
And then the hickey that we have seen too often, it would have come back anyway. That's a 15-yard penalty, and now 2nd down and 25. Is that a post-play penalty against Connally? So you had the 15-yarder on the block, which, again, is just part of today's America. 2nd and 25. Gaither in the gun. Weisner right side. Weisner 40. Breaks the tackle. 45-50. Into Gerald territory at about the 48. Tackle made by Bruner and Price, the safety. So they got all of it back and won. 16 yards from Weisner. And that's 30 yards in penalties in this drive to start this drive for the Cadets. And we know what has happened with them in penalties.
So Deontay Epps back in quarantine sent me the video from the live stream of the block, and it is just close enough to where you could see it. I mean, it's I wouldn't have called it, but it's close. I mean, it's
3rd down and 9 at the 48 of Gerald after 16 yards from Weisner. I understand what you're saying. It's like anything that's a collision now is a penalty. And I understand what they're doing. This is handoff. Wiggins. Wiggins cuts it back, has a first down inside the Gerald 35-yard line, close to the 31. 17 yards for Wiggins. Jamari Wiggins, Bruner, and Warren made the tackle for Gerald.
Yeah, and you know, it's going well for you when you have 2nd and 25 and you don't even have to throw a pass.
Yeah, especially when it's 2nd and 25 after an incomplete pass. Yeah. You're right. And you run for 17, and then you get the nice pickup from Jamari Wiggins, whose Powell is checked back in the game.
Wiggins just went out.
To the right. Wiggins is out. Thank you, Craig. Weisner stays in, number 1, who's had a big start to this game as well. Gaither has not officially carried the ball. This is Weisner. Hit in the backfield, spins away, breaks the tackle, gets back inside the 30, down close to the 27. Emerson Kirby, the junior, makes the tackle for Gerald. And that's a pickup of about 4.
That's the first time they've really gotten two hands around Trey Weisner at any point.
Wiggins was going off with his shoulder, looking like it was hanging a little bit, by the way, which would be disappointing given that was his first carry. But when he got up, he was a bit ginger on the, I believe it was the right side, his arm or shoulder, something along those lines.
Navarra is now in at right guard instead of Beatty. And the thing about Wiggins now, like a lot of these players, he goes both ways, plays linebacker, has at times spelled Torres Luna, and now playing running back. 2nd down and 6. This is Powell, kind of runs into a little bit of a wall and cuts back right towards the middle of the field down to the 23. Minute 30 to go, first quarter, 21-0. Connally with the ball at the Gerald 23-yard line. And Theory Safula makes the tackle for Gerald in a gain of 4.
By the way, at this step, this will be the official longest drive of the game so far.
Connally has 155 yards all on the ground, 60 or 75-yard kick return by McDonald, and it's 3rd down and 2 when they'll snap it with about a minute to go in the first quarter. Wiggins and Powell, left and right of Gaither, 3 receivers. Miles near side. Gaither keeps it, rolls to his right, or left, Nice little touch pass. Powell with a first down, breaks a tackle inside the 15, breaks another tackle. Jermone now is down at about the 3.
And there's a flag at the 12-yard line.
And there's a flag on the play. Warren and Crathers made the tackle, and I think there might be an illegal man downfield against Connally, which is unfortunate because Gaither just kind of shot-putted that pass to a wide-open Powell.
Yeah, somebody got out.
Block in the back. 30, now 40 yards in penalties.
Well, the good news is Wiggins is coming back in.
That's good news. So it's instead of 1st and goal, and that was a heck of a run by Powell after the catch. Down inside the 5, but this is coming back. It'll be 3rd down and 12. It depends on where they mark the block in the back. 44 seconds, clock stopped. Very windy. Craig, it's windy, it's cold because of the wind, but it's not cold temperature-wise, is it?
It's chilly. It's chilly. I wouldn't say it's cold, but it's definitely like long pants and jacket weather. I wouldn't advise being out here in a T-shirt and shorts because you get cool pretty quickly. But the wind's it's kind of a steady breeze. It's not too bad right now.
3rd down and 7. Connally at the Gerald 28-yard line after the block in the back. Gaither. Weisner, keeper, left side. Gaither turns the corner. Nice job to run him out of bounds at about the 24. And that's short of the first down. He'll give him the 23, tackle by Joseph Crathers at the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 5. It'll be 4th down and about 3.
Crathers just holding on for dear life there.
That's officially the first stat for Gaither other than the catch of 28 yards that he completed to Weisner. And then the pass, of course, to Powell was brought back, the long punt return, and here's a penalty now against Gerald.
Yeah, he was holding on for dear life to Kavion Gaither's face mask.
Okay, well, there's 15 yards, or half the distance, actually, down to the 11-yard line. So a gain of about 3 by Gaither, plus they'll mark it for another 12 yards in the face mask. So both teams have now been penalized for personal fouls on this drive alone. First down at the 12 of Gerald. 21-0 Connally. Play clock down to 9. Game clock at 13. Could be the last play of the first quarter. This is Weisner. Huge hole up the right side, and he will score. Touchdown Connally. Trey Weisner just shot through a keyhole. His second touchdown of the game, 12 yards out, 27-0 Cadets. And Trey Weisner came into this game locked up. And here comes Morales for the extra point.
Yeah, he was ready to go tonight.
129 yards. Weisner, 2 touchdowns. Remember, he had that explosive opening game against Sunnyvale, as did Gaither. And Gerald jumps offside again on the extra point. They've done that numerous times. Extra point by Morales is good, and it's offside. They'll decline it. So, with 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, Connally 28, Gerald nothing, 106.7 the Eagle. Sikkim 365 Radio.
What season is it? It's truck season at Allen Samuels. Ram trucks are raring to go, ready to work and play, and all feature the best deals of the year during Ram Power Days. Come get your brand new Ram Lone Star at Allen Samuels with 0% for 72 and no payments for 90 days. Or choose up to $9,250 in bonus cash and incentives. Ram, the highest pickup owner loyalty in America. Shop, apply, buy online. We deliver. Ram Power Days at Allen Samuels.
By the way, to give you an update in baseball, the Astros continue to roll 7-2 now, bottom of the 7th against the Rays. They were down 1-0, 5-run, I think it was the 5th inning, and the Astros are trying to push that to a Game 7. What a comeback that has been. Dodgers and Braves have started. The Braves lead that series 3-1. 28-0 here. Connally with 6 or 5 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that was a 7-play, 49-yard drive. Weisner's 12-yard run makes it 28-0 after the extra point with 5 seconds left in the first quarter.
Lerma's leg's going to fall off here in the first quarter, and that's why he's kicking off as well, because Morales would be handling the 4 extra points and the kicks, and here's Lerma from his 40. A little bit deeper this time, and Warren lets it kick around right into the 14-yard line. Left hash out to the 25 with a 30. Nice job. Connally that time at the 32-yard line. Jamari Wiggins made the tackle. So Gerald will take over. They've had the ball twice in Connally territory. Both times failed on 4th down. And that also ends the first quarter with our score. Connally 28, Gerald nothing. 106.7 FM, the Eagle. And Sikkim 365 Radio.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physicians for Baylor Athletics, specializing in diagnosis and treatment of any and all sport-related injuries, celebrating over a decade of service to Central Texas. They tackle all surgical and non-surgical problems that arise from an active lifestyle. Trust the doctors that Baylor trust, and when injuries sideline you, don't wait for Monday. Join us at 8:30 on Saturday mornings for a post-game injury evaluation clinic. Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. We get you back in the game.
The presenting sponsor of Connally Cadets football is Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Trust the doctors who Baylor trusts. We help you get back in the game.
28-0 Connally. We start the second quarter. Gerald first down at their 33-yard line. And Edgar with Derek Warren right behind him. 3 receivers, trip set right side left hash. Edgar throws a long pass that is incomplete. His wide receiver seemed to was not running the route. And that was Miller, Weston Miller, who's a linebacker as well. He got kind of tied up with Paris Cox the third. And it's 2nd down and 10. That's a long throw against this wind.
Yeah. I mean, I was down there earlier, and it doesn't feel like it's gusting too bad, but it really is.
2nd down at the 33. Gerald to Derek. Keeper Edgar got a nice hole up the middle and has close to a first down. About the 42, a yard short. Danny Rubio. A couple of weeks ago, Rubio had that big game against Robinson. He gets a tackle there, but a gain of 9 by Edgar. Edgar's just kind of methodical. He doesn't seem like he's going to probably outrun you much, not especially Connally.
Well, that was a nice fake that he had there. Yep. I mean, the defensive line totally bought that the running back was getting the ball and went all out to get him. So
3rd down and 1. Gerald at their 42-yard line. 28-0 Connally. A kick return. 2 Weisner runs. Powell run. And the Cadets look like they might be warming up. Look like Jelani McDonald warming up with Gaither. Of course, Gavion just trying to keep his arm warm. This is Warren hitting the backfield. What a nice play. Good gosh, what a great play by the tackle, Anthony Childers. Anthony Childers knocks down Warren for a loss of 3 back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and this is one of those opportunities I was talking about, 4th down. Like, I don't know if I go for it or not now after I said that earlier, but it's an attainable distance.
Well, I'm not sure if they are. Looks like they're bringing mass substitutions in, and they'll line up the punt. And that's Torres, 23. They had Sanchez as their kicker and punter. Gaither comes in, and he'll go inside the Connally 35-yard line. Depends on the punt here. So 4th down. Nice play. A loss of actually officially 2 yards on the run by Warren, and a great job by Childers. Here's the punt that's up. Line drive punt hits at the Connally 30 to the 25 and dribbles. This is going to be a great punt before it's all said and done. Still going inside the Connally 10-yard line to the 8. That's a 52-yard punt by Torres.
There you go. That's a nice roll.
Cougar State will roll down to the 9.
I'll give him the 9.
So Torres with a 52-yard punt, and now Connally will take over inside their own 10. 10-10 to go. First quarter is over. Now 28-0 second quarter. And that China Spring Salado game that we keep an eye on that one. China Spring scored first 7-7, 11:07 to go second quarter. Salado has tied it up.
New quarterback, it looks like.
Is that 4, Craig?
Yep.
Jelani McDonald, who's been on the depth chart. Tyler Webb remains still not active. From the 9-yard line, McDonald hands it up, and here comes Long, 20, Long 25, and picks up 17 yards and a first down. Good for Jelani to get a good-looking athlete, too. Good-looking body. Bruner made the tackle.
I'll put it this way. If you didn't know he wasn't the starting quarterback and you were guessing who the starting quarterback was, you'd probably pick him before Gaither just because of the height. He is. He's a really good, strong-looking player.
McDonald's brother, Lamarcus, the linebacker. First down at the 25-yard line after 17 yards on the pickup. Split backs, Jelani. Bad snap, has to pick it up, gets away, outside and loses 3, but he did a hell of a job just to hold on to the ball. He got no help there. That ball kind of came quickly. Martin Torres, who had the long punt, made the tackle and a loss of 3 for Jelani. Jelani's out here going, wait a minute. This didn't seem to be that hard for everybody else.
Well, I mean, you got to get the snap first, and look, he did well to recover from that, and they've come back from worse, but it's good to get some other people some reps, because they do have a lot of people playing both ways, Smokey, and so to give Kavion Gaither a break when you're up 28 points, I mean, that's a pretty savvy thing to do.
Long and Powell, the running backs. Long to his left, Powell to his right. 3 receivers set 2 this way. This is Long up the middle, and Marcus is outside the 30-yard line to the 32. It's a gain of 10. It will be 3rd down and 4. Joseph Crathers with another tackle for Gerald. 28-0 Connally. Long now, 2 carries for 27 yards, and Connolly's putting up huge numbers. Most of it on the ground. They do have the 28-yard catch and run.
And I did when I was at practice earlier this week. I saw them running a little, some stuff with Kavion Gaither not at quarterback, so it's not surprising to see this.
3rd and 4 at the Connally 32. This is Long again off the right side, and he is just short of a first down.
No, I think he got it.
They're going to give him the marker. Boy, that's a really good mark on the near side. Theory Seifula is the one who made the tackle, and Marcus stretched out to pick up the first down at the 35 for a gain of officially 3 yards.
That was going to be one of those right foot, left foot things here on the near side, Smokey. It looks like they gave him the right foot right on the stripe there at the 35-yard line.
Temple rolling over Copper's Cove 24-0. Glen Rose 33, Hillsboro nothing at halftime in 4A. Gatesville 7-0 over Robinson, also in 9-4A. First down, Jelani McDonald bobbles the snap, it's on the turf, and Gerald has recovered. So now, initially I thought it might be the snap, and now Jelani, that's why you have these moments when you're up 28-0, and Joseph Crathers recovered the fumble for Gerald at the Connally 29-yard line.
Well, it's been very noticeable that every snap is going to his left, like to where he has to adjust to catch it to his left. And I don't know if that's just a difference from Gaither or what, but he's having to reach left every time. And I've been looking at it the last few snaps, and so not really surprising all the way to me, just given the kind of loose ball security we've seen and the snaps that eventually bit them.
So Gerald will have their third possession inside Connally territory, down 28-0, but Crathers has been a big-time player tonight for Gerald despite the score. 7:56 to go in the second quarter. Connally defense, Wiggins and Powell in the game at linebacker. Pulling right there on the nose. They run a double reverse, and this is Torres. He has nowhere to go. Now cuts it back this way, and then runs into De La Fuente, and after all of that, he'll lose 3 yards, and that was Brooks Williams. De La Fuente is the one that kind of blew up any kind of an opportunity on the double reverse, stayed there, managed his area, his zone or lane, and a loss of 3 by Torres.
Yeah, I mean, might as well try it. Why not? But
Second 13.
No, I mean, your aim is Davis, and you're pulling out everything you have, and 7:20 clock running, 28-0. You get the ball at the Connally 29, and now it's second down and 13. Edgar, the quarterback, Warren to his left, who's over 1,000 yards now in the year. Torres in the slot right, and this is Warren off the right side. Very angular runner, and tackled from behind by Lamarcus Mcdonald at the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and it's now third down and about 6. 46 yards on 9 carries for Warren. He does seem to have that lean to him and picked up 7 yards. He didn't get touched really until he was 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
No, he's got some burst to him, and looks like he can get some yards.
De La Fuente and Brooks Williams, the ends, Pullen and Walker inside. 4-man front for Connally, third down and 6. Here's Edgar on a keeper, slices through a couple of tackles and picks up a first down. Tackle from Jermone Powell, but he kind of got caught up right there at the line of scrimmage, and Edgar picks up 6 yards in a first down.
Yeah, Edgar's a pretty tough runner. I mean, he doesn't just go down right away and fights for it.
Ball down by Powell.
Connally this week, again, it's here in Gerald. Next week back home against Gatesville, and 2 weeks from tonight it's China Spring. And Gerald, with that win against Robinson, has put themselves in the driver's seat to possibly, if they can find a way to beat Gatesville, will make the playoffs. Here's Edgar back to throw, now flushed, now runs, now sacked back at the 22-yard line. Trey Walker, or is that De La Fuente and Walker with a half a sack each and a loss of 3?
Defensive line just feasting tonight. They've been really, really good in the backfield almost every time. Even if they don't make a play, there's somebody in the backfield. They're not getting beat off the ball at all.
They're just thrilled right now that they're not facing that crazy, quick, efficient, disciplined slot T that drove them nuts in the second half against Salado. And they did such a good job, really, statistically, but they just kind of wore down a little bit in the second half. Second and 13, Torres in motion. Edgar gives it to him on the zone read, and Torres gets inside the 20, close to the 19, got most of it back for a gain of 4. And that was Torrey Pullen with the tackle. And I think, McDonald returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Torrey Pullen and McDonald got into it last week, and that's over. But those two guys needed to really play well and have a focused week, and they had to talk about it. They discussed it. They had another player walk off the team who, just didn't like the way things are. Third and 10, and Pullen with the tackle there. Edgar back to throw in the gun. Throws a deep fade. He's got a man open in the end zone. Caught it. Touchdown. That's a heck of a throw. And Crathers, right in the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. 19 yards, and Gerald's on the board. That's a beautiful throw by Edgar.
Yeah, and a really nice catch. Crathers went all the way out for it, ran through the catch. I mean, the only question was he going to be able to secure it in bounds, which he did. It was a fantastic play.
So Gerald's got like 25 players on the field. And those are the officials that look like they're wearing Gerald uniforms. And I'm not saying that in a smart aleck way. It just looked like they had too many guys on the field.
They'll have black pants on.
Yeah. So they'll go for 2. Edgar, the quarterback, will go for 2. And they've got kind of the swinging gate with Warren behind Edgar. Edgar's actually to the left, and Warren will take it from the Wildcat. Man in motion is Torres. Edgar to Warren up the middle, and he will score. 2-point conversion. That was easy. Very easy. 28-8. Gerald scores. 4:34 to go in the half. Connally up 20. 106.7 The Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio. Automatic Chef Canteen is a full-service micro-market vending and office coffee provider with state-of-the-art vending equipment, a wide variety of products, and offering custom-fitted micro-market vending office coffee solution for your employee break room. You want a full break room solution and workplace oasis? Well, Automatic Chef Canteen, locally owned and operated for over 50 years in Central Texas, also includes in-house mechanics on call 24/7 for fast, reliable service and maintenance. Automatic Chef Canteen, 6900 Imperial Drive, AutomaticChefCanteen.com. Back at Cougar Stadium in Gerald, Texas, the home team scores their first points of the game in the touchdown catch by Crathers from Edgar, the 2-point run by Warren, 28-8. Connally up with 4:34 to go in the half.
Yeah, it was a 6-play, 29-yard drive. It took 3:22 off of the second quarter clock. And with 4:34 left to go in the first half, it is now 28-8, Connally over Gerald.
How about this score? It is now Lorena leads McGregor 14-7, Yo 14, and Troy 7, and Mejia dominating Van 21-0.
Wow.
Black Cats, Tristan Abram.
By the way,
here's the kick.
You all pick Van.
Here's a squib kick that's corralled at the 45-yard line by Torres Luna, and Connally will have great field position at their 45-yard line. So here it's 28-8. Connally with 4:32 to go in the half. And we'll see if Jelani McDonald or is it Gaither that comes on to play the quarterback position. Ryan Davis is our spotter again, doing a really good job under the conditions. We're in a really nice, spacious booth. It's a beautiful, brand new press box and stands. And I'll tell you, Masonic Construction, it got trailers and cars and trucks everywhere. Gaither's back in to run the quarterback position. Long will be in the slot with Weisner and Powell to his left and right. 28-8. Connally with the ball at their own 45-yard line. Snap from Kaufman coming. And Gaither gives it to Powell. Powell bounces outside, turns the corner. Nice job at the sideline 40. Inside the 25-yard line. Boy, he exploded. Bruner made the tackle. You're down to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 32 for Jermone Powell.
You know, and obviously, this is a mismatch talent-wise, but you see what kind of talent Connally has, and if they can get out of their own way, they can really do something.
Yeah, and even when they had of course, the penalties on the block in the back, or what they call the personal foul block, and another 15-yarder after that. Here's Weisner right side. Trey scored twice and now make it 3. Touchdown Weisner. Here's a flag at the very end of the play. The referee threw that when Weisner was inside the 20. That's a very, very late penalty call. But Connally, you know what? When you do it week after week, it means you probably do it. And this is going to wipe out what otherwise is a 24-yard touchdown run by Weisner.
Yeah, and
they're going to end up with a bunch of yards again tonight.
Yeah, they just need, the holding penalties and all that, those are aggressive penalties, but part of that is also learning how to be properly aggressive.
I got to tell you, though, there is absolutely no way that call, and I'm just saying it from where Weisner took the snap and was gone. You could see he was gone. That came very late. Now, it could have been something that created any kind of a hole. We don't know. So now it is first down and 20 from the 33-yard line of Gerald. Two backs, Weisner and Powell. Gaither throws it out in the flat. Caught by Long, down inside the 25, down close to the 20, and they'll say the 22-yard line. Bruner again making the tackle, and Long to the 22 for a gain of 11 yards.
And those are the passes that they're going to have to get into the offense Because they've got to be able to do something through the air if they want to advance further in the playoffs when they get there.
2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line of Gerald. 28-8 Connally with 3:53 to go in the first half. This is a handoff right side, corner, Weisner down the sideline, and he will score touchdown. He is a man among boys right now. The 15-year-old's 3rd touchdown of the game, and he has just too much. 21-yard touchdown run by Trey Weisner, his 3rd of the game, 34-8 Connally, extra point to come.
Yeah, and that drive took less than a minute once again. Connally just doing whatever they want.
Salado has now taken the lead on China Spring 14-7 after a one-time trailing by 7. Morales' 5th extra point attempt, and it is good. 35-8. Connally, 3:43 to go, second quarter. Cougar Stadium in Gerald, Texas, District 9, 4A Division II, and this is 106.7 The Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
35-8. Connally has dominated from the opening kick on the long kickoff return by McDonald. Trey Weisner scored 3 times. He has 150 yards here in the first half. 3 scores. 35-8, Cadets lead Gerald with 3:43 to go second quarter.
3 plays, 45 yards in about 50 seconds. And the score now 35-8, 3:43 left to go in the first half.
Price, and Warren are back deep for Gerald. Back inside about their 25 or 30-yard line. In fact, now Warren will go back a little bit deeper. 3:43 left. Touchdown from Weisner, 21 yards, and they overcame the holding call. Connally will kick off, and this is Morales here from his own 40, and he kicks a line drive that's caught almost on it's actually on the ground, and finally Gerald does recover at about the 25-yard line. Derek Warren came up from the back end to do that. That kind of skipped away from one of the up men.
Yeah, that got a little scary there for Gerald for a second.
We'll have our Parsons Roofing halftime interview, Craig Smoke. His updates from the Texas Tour Gear sideline report. And Gerald will start at their 25. See De La Fuente, Rubio, Childers, Jermone Powell, McDonald. The safety's still the same with Long and Cox, Weisner and Stevens. Actually, I think it's Marcus, Paris Cox III, yes. And here's the snap from the 25-yard line. Edgar to Warren off the right side, and he slides outside the 25 to about the 28 for 3. 2nd down and 7. 3:30 to go. 35-8. Connally tackled by Torres Luna and Childers.
You know how different this game is from last week? Last week, I did not get on the drive chart onto my second column until about the end of the third quarter last week, and now I'm already on it. Possessions have been completely different.
Yeah, and they've been electric as well with Connally. So 2nd down and 7. Edgar at his own 27-yard line, 28-yard line actually, and a man in motion. And they hand it off to Crathers, who's been a very big part of this game for Gerald. He's tackled about the 33. And he's down. There's a player for Connally down, David De La Fuente, and he gets up. He's fine. And now there's a penalty on the far side at the 28-yard line. I'm not sure. Offsides against Connally. Yeah.
And see, that's another thing that they've got to clean up too, are those offsides.
So, one holding call, 2 personal fouls, block in the back, and a holding call. Or, offsides.
Those are, and we talk about it every week, those are just such frustrating penalties.
Well, they're freebies. I mean, it's just like second down and a long two for Gerald at their 28. Four-man front. Warren off the right side. Bounces outside, has a first down and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Give him the 39. Gain of 6. Clock will stop. 2:34 to go. There's no question. I would love to see him, just as a broadcaster, see him get loose and see, from Connally's perspective, with the speed they have in the secondary, who can track him down, because he can flat out go, and a gain of 6 yards and a first down.
Yeah, good strides.
57 yards for Warren on 12 carries. Again, he went over 1,000 yards. Had 990 to start the game, and the Cougars will have a first down at the 38. Two backs. Warren right side has about 3 or 4, maybe 5 outside the 40 to the 43-yard line, and Brooks Williams made the tackle, so a gain of, we'll say, 5. Second down and 5. Amos Davidson, the head coach at Gerald. He's been here as an assistant coach before. He's also been at Hendrickson, Valley View, and Salina. First job as a head coach. He went to college at McMurray. Valley View is where he went to high school, and of course Shane Anderson, alum of Connally, and went to Tarleton State. Here's a flea flicker. They want to throw it deep. That's Edgar. He's got a man open. The pass. That should be pass interference, and it will be. Yeah, Isaiah Stevens intended for Bruner on the throw from Edgar. That's a heck of a throw by Edgar with his body coming towards the near side where we are, the sideline. He threw it across his body, and he got that thing really down the field. Stevens just got there early. That's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, the only delay in that penalty was the officials getting the flag out of their pocket.
And
and Connally needs to figure out how he got that wide open to where you have your defender sprinting 15 yards down to try to catch up. I mean, he was wide open there for a while.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like to me, and I know that at least for me for a second, it almost looked as if it was a flea flicker, but Edgar's the one that had the ball. For some reason, I just must have missed it, which is that right there. I got to figure out what I was doing. The 41-yard line of Connally, and now with 1:52 to go to half, 35-8, Connally and Gerald trying to get back on the scoreboard. 3 trip set, right side, left hash. And this is Edgar up the middle at the 40 of Connally to the near sideline. Goes out of bounds at about the Connally 27. That's a first down.
You said this about Edgar. He's not a speed burner, but he's an efficient runner. He knows how to get it done. He knew exactly where to go. Followed his blockers well.
Yeah, 14 yards, 38 yards for Edgar on 8 carries, and pushed out of bounds by Isaiah Stevens, who also was there on the pass interference call. Clock to stop at 1:45 to go, 27-yard line of the Cadets. And Gerald down 35-8. 1-6 on the year. Their entire year rides on what they do against Gatesville, because they have the win against Robinson. First down at the 27 of Connally. This is Crathers. Little zone read and pushed out of bounds. Nice job in the hustle by Marcus Long. Safety. Gain of a couple of yards to the... Oh, they're going to say, wow, they gave him the 24-yard line. Give him the 24. He gets a couple extra yards on that. A gain of about 3.
Yeah, I thought he was about at the 25 at best, but
Crathers has
right
2 catches.
Can't see for us what the players are there.
Second down and 7. Out of bounds again, so 1:40 to go. This clock has been really good for Gerald because they've been able to get out of bounds plus the penalty. Second down and 7 at the 24-yard line of Connally. Snap to Edgar, to Warren off the left side, and Derek Warren at the 20. 15 inside the 15. He took people for a ride to the 12. 12 yards for Warren, and he ran right through the Connally defense. Rubio was there to finally make the tackle.
And ultimately, who knows what difference this drive will make, but it's Gerald keeping up and going. And if they score on this drive, this will be an actual long drive that started all at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, no, this is methodical. Mm-hmm. They got to try. They're working towards what they need. Again, I keep focusing on this. This is not over. 35-8. Edgar wants to roll right. Now wants to maybe run, and he does inside the 15, down close to about the 10, and they'll give him the 9. He does run with that ball. He's got big hands. Tackled by Wiggins, a gain of 3, and it's second down and 7. Under a minute to go.
Yeah, and again, they don't have to be in a rush. They've got a couple timeouts in their pocket.
41 yards on 9 carries for Edgar. 2nd and 7 at the Connally 9. Here's a handoff to Warren. He bounces outside at the 10, pushed towards the sideline, and will get out at about the 7. Wow, look at the mark here. Man, I don't think it's the angle. It might be the angle of who's making the mark. Got out at the 5. He picked up 4.
There's no way.
It's 3rd down and 3, and Warren got the mark to the 5.
Yeah, he got a great mark there.
There's no way he got to the 5.
73 yards. I didn't think so either. 73 yards on 14 carries. 3rd down and let's say 3. Gerald, 39 seconds to go in the half, trailing Connally 35-8. Warren right behind Edgar, trip set right. Left hash, man in motion, is Torres. They give it to Warren off the right side. He's bottled up, slides inside the 5 and short of the first down at about the 3. This will be 4th down and about a yard, and the clock is also important here. And Gerald's going to take a timeout with 29 seconds to go. Tackle made by Wiggins. We'll take one with him. 4th and 1 coming up for Gerald. Down 35-8 to Connally with 29 seconds to go in the half. On 106.7 FM, the Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio.
First Central Credit Union has expanded our playbook. Ready to kick off as a first-time home buyer? Having a hard time making the first down? First Central's open-door mortgage loans up to 95% of the appraised home value. Our starting lineup includes low closing costs, no points, low origination fees, flexible terms, and competitive rates. Thinking about mortgage refinancing? This way works for you too. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We are opening doors to home ownership at First Central.
Some restrictions apply. Rates subject to change. Equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
Thanks to Hector Sabito, J.C. King, but thanks to our good friend Chewy back in the studios, 106.7, Mr. McCutcheon, broadcasting this thing, Connally football this year on 106.7 FM, the Eagle. Sikkim 365 Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, Alexa, Periscope. And here comes Gerald now, 4th down and a yard at about the 3 of Connally. 29 seconds to go in the half, trailing by 27. Edgar with Warren to his right. Low snap. Edgar picks it up, throws it in the back of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. And a flag at the end of the play. How in the world? Well, Edgar was hit in the backfield and just threw it up, and Bruner made the catch in the back line.
Well, Trey Weisner didn't know where he was, and Trey Weisner was supposed to be on him. He just snuck into the back of the end zone, was completely wide open. Weisner tried to recover, and then when he did, caught the ball and knocked his helmet off.
And oh, by the way, a penalty.
Well, what else is new?
The penalty was for pulling off the helmet. Personal foul. Now they're going to say it was a face mask, which if you're Amos Davidson, you could take half the distance or take it. I believe you might be able to take it on the kickoff. 23 seconds to go. That was a phenomenal play by Edgar because his low snap, he had to pick it up and he was being pressured immediately.
He was nearly
by Powell.
He was nearly on the ground.
Yes. And he just said, what the heck? It's 4th down. I got to get it over somewhere. And Bruner was standing there, as you said, Craig, by himself because, well, nobody knew where he was. So they're going to line up to kick the extra point. This is Sanchez kneeling at the 10. And here's there's a flag. Procedure call against Gerald.
They have the worst special teams line, maybe.
Gerald?
Because that's been a few penalties now on special teams of just false starts and.
Well, they've jumped off sides on every extra point that Connally's attempted.
Extra point. I don't mean worse. I mean that's a little harsh, but I mean they're constantly jumping off sides on extra points.
So it's 35-14, and this is a dominant first half by Connally, and yet they're up 21 with the extra point to come. Ball bounces funny. Bunch of high school kids, you never know what might happen. This is more of a longer field goal. Here's the extra point. Plenty of distance by Sanchez, and he drilled it. 23 seconds to go in the half. Connally 35, Gerald 14, 106.7 FM, the Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be part of the Waco community. We're a small family business here in Central Texas. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important. And unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. And that's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through this difficult time. So if you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. You can schedule online in minutes at idealmri.com or call 833-IDEAL-MRI.
35-14, Connally trying to move to 4-3 on the year, go to 2-1 in District 9 4A. Gerald scored on the touchdown to Bruner. Astros are coming back from the dead, boys. They're just dominating now the Rays 7-2. Top of the 8th. And that thing was dead in the water, and then you looked at a couple of the wins the Rays had, and a lot of it was self-inflicted as well. They're going to mark the penalty off against Connally, and so Gerald will kick off from the 45. Paul, with 23 seconds to go in the half, you're kicking off at the Connally 45. Even if you weren't, why not here?
No, I would do
Try to squib it around and maybe get an onside kick.
I would just see what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, how often are you going to get a chance? Also, this is like real-time practice. High-stakes practice here.
Gerald beat Robinson last week. Connally lost to Salado. Salado leads China Spring at halftime at Salado 14-7. And here comes the kick, and they kick it deep and through the back of the end zone. So that 23 seconds to go. Connally will get one snap, maybe more. Opened up with the Lamarcus Mcdonald kickoff return. Weisner has scored 3 times in this first half. 150 yards for the sophomore. And the Cadets will have the ball at their 25-yard line. Temple was up early over Copper's Cove. They still do lead 31-14. 3 minutes left in the first half. Mejia now 21-14 at halftime over Van. Gatesville at halftime leads Robinson 7-0. If Gatesville beats Robinson, the game between Gerald and Gatesville becomes the battle for 4th place to get in the postseason. 42-7, Grandview rolling past West in the second quarter. Lorena 21, McGregor 14 late second quarter. Yo in Troy, we thought that could be 75-70. It's 14-7 Yo at halftime. They're starting to turn things around at Yo, and Buffalo leads Clifton at halftime 20-17. So Gaither from his 30-yard line. 23 seconds to go. Gaither wants to throw. Deep out. This is Parrish Cox to third. Makes the catch at the 40. Out to the 43. Warren tripped him up. That's a gain of 13 yards and 15 seconds to go. 52 yards for Gaither tonight. Throwing the football. Cox has 13. Weisner 28. 11 yards from Marcus Long Jr. Timeout on the field. That's a timeout that Connally takes. Marlin at halftime leads Kern 14-7. Dawson with those running backs, the Hamiltons, DeMarie and Jamarie. 23-0 over Cayuga at halftime. Italy 20 and Axtell 6 late second quarter. Blum 24, Covington 8 at half. Morgan 38, Cransville's Gap 6 at the half. Live Oak leads Coram Deo 30-16 at halftime. All right, Gaither from his 43 with 15 seconds to go and 2 timeouts. Way wide is Bronche Miles. As they run the double reverse, and this is Weisner. Gaither tries to give him a block. He does 50. Weisner 40. Weisner cuts near side 40, 35, 30, flag. And out of bounds, and there's a flag at the 35-yard line. Of course there is. So Weisner takes off down to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 36 yards, but a flag on the far side of the 36-yard line.
Yeah, this happened right where Weisner made his first big cut across the field. Almost ran the whole clock out.
The 21-yard run from where the penalty is, and it's a holding call against Connally. They are just so self-destructive. And especially when you have you don't need to hold when he's in the loose.
No.
But this is going to bring it back 10 more yards. So Weisner gets credit for 12 yards on the carry, and about 20 of it wiped out where he went out of bounds, plus the holding call. and that's going to wrap up probably the first half with 2 seconds to go, and timeout Connally.
Yeah, and look, what Connally's trying to do here is they haven't had to run a 2-minute drill at all year, really.
Well, you kind of wish they would have a couple of times.
Yeah, but they haven't. Yeah, right. I mean, they haven't had to do it, so you got to see.
No, they've had to do it. They just couldn't
do it. Yeah, but I mean, you got to, in this situation where you have a 20-point lead, see what you can do. I guess see what you can. I mean, get those plays out of the playbook.
Why not? Why not?
Put it on film. See what you got to work on. Make somebody else have to work on it.
From the 46-yard line, Connally after the penalty will have 2 seconds to go in the half. 35-15. I said 35-14. It's 35-15 because Warren had the 2-point conversion. Parrish Cox III is split to the near side. They got Jermone Powell on the right side of Gaither. Ronshea Miles deep far side. And the snap at the 46 of Gerald, and Gaither will now try to find enough time to step up in the pocket. Now he does. He's going to be tripped up, gets away, throws it to the sideline. The pass is incomplete, and that should end the first half. We'll have the Parsons Roofing halftime interview, Craig Smoke and Shane Anderson. It is Connally 35 and Gerald 15. Anything with Craig Smoke, also brought to you by Texas Tour Gear. And Craig Smoke with Shane Anderson.
Coach, 35-15 at the half. You guys got out to a big start there. Your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
We came out hot, tried to get some kids on the field early on, kind of sputtered a little bit. We've basically given up our eyes, not back in with our eyes. Gave up a couple big passes. Just one of those teachable moments. I think at halftime you just got to go in there and make sure the kids understand it's a 20-point game. We're well ahead, but at the same time, we want to play our brand of football. We don't want to get sloppy with it.
How big was that McDonald just kickoff turn, just kind of opened the game and set the tone a little bit for you?
It was huge. He had a great return last week, another good return tonight, and the way we look at it is we got a bunch of athletes back there, and we tell them if they kick it deep, let's make them pay. And, he had good blocking, and he did a great job.
One of those athletes you have is Trey Weisner. He's got 3 touchdowns. You kind of sense he had a little pep in his step this week, or that he could have a big game?
Yeah, he's played well all year. We got to get him to be a little bit more consistent, against the quality opponents. And, he's growing up. He's just a sophomore.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, halftime, Connally 35. Thank you, Craig. Thanks to Shane Anderson. That halftime interview brought to you by Parsons Roofing, America's #1 Duralast company since 1948 at parsonsroofing.com. Thanks to Stuart Parsons, 35-15. Connally leads Gerald at halftime. 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
This interview with Connally Cadets AD and head football coach Shane Anderson is brought to you by Parsons Roofing, America's #1 Duralast company since 1948 at parsonsroofing.com.
Parsons Roofing has been serving Central Texas since 1948, and we can handle your commercial roofing needs from repair to re-roofing. And no one handles more school than Parsons Roofing. Parsons Roofing has been named Contractor of the Year for 14 consecutive years. Parsons Roofing, a name Central Texans have trusted for over 70 years. It's not just a roof, it's our reputation. You can contact us today for a free roof evaluation, including hail claims at 877-881-1733 or on the web at parsonsroofing.com.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Have you seen the bleachers and grandstands at Baylor University, McLennan Community College, throughout Waco, Midway, Riesel, Mart, Marlin, La Vega, and Connally ISD? They all have one name in common, Sturdasteel, an industry-leading fabricator of engineered seating solutions. There's no substitute for knowledge and experience. Sturdasteel has both, with more combined experience in the business than anyone else in the industry. Sturdasteel is quality from the ground up. We don't just build grandstands and bleachers, we build trust. Sturdasteel.com.
It's the heat of the summer, but the real heat is what you're cooking on the grill, smoker, or in the oven. So Waco Custom Marketplace can be your go-to playmaker for summertime grilling. You can't go eat anywhere else? Be your own chef with custom ordered and cut ribeyes, sirloins, fillets, New York strips with a focus on high-quality beef at a competitive price. Waco Custom Marketplace also has fresh deli cuts with sliced turkey, ham, pepperoni, or corned beef. Waco Custom Marketplace also your home for the freshest seafood in town. Salmon, shrimp, mahi-mahi. Great priced chicken products, whole birds, tenders, chicken breast, and wings. Waco Custom Marketplace with smoked items unique to Waco. House-made bacon, summer sausage, boudin, hot links, and German sausage. Every seasoning for every occasion, grilling, baking, or frying. Your hometown grocery store with canned goods, pasta, fresh baked bread, buns, chips, sauce, condiments to pickles, charcoal and lighter fluid, cold beer and wine. Best kolaches in Waco, mouth-watering cinnamon rolls, and here for the community every single day, helping you avoid the long lines in crowded stores, serving quality products to the Waco community. Go online for the weekly value boxes. Family owned and operated Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
The Connally Cadets Halftime Show is sponsored by First Central Credit Union, with locations in Belmead, Hewitt, Waco, Hillsborough, and Brownwood. Everything we do for you.
We will have highlights, stats, and much more here at halftime. Connally corporate sponsors: Masonic Construction, Sturda Steel, Graham Properties, Parsons Roofing, American Bank, and so many others. We'll have highlights. Paul, is Deontay assisting us from Mars?
Yes, he is, from his quarantine.
His bubble in Mars.
He sent us a video replay. I mean, Deontay is doing it big tonight. He is. I talked to him earlier today, and he is itching.
That means we don't need him here if he's itchy.
I mean, okay.
I don't need to catch anything.
He's anxious to get out of quarantine.
We'll find out when that quarantine runs out if he wants to come back and be with us or not.
I think I could tell him to go anywhere with us, and he'd be ready to go. He is getting stir crazy.
We're going to go swim Lake Waco.
Yeah, he'd be all for it.
All right, so in the district right now at halftime, Gatesville leads Robinson 7-0. Salado 14, China Springs 7. Here is Connally 35, Gerald 15 at halftime. When we come back, the highlights a little bit down the road.
The stats.
But stats when we come back. It has been so far all Connally, but Gerald with a couple of touchdowns, and they are not done. 35-15, Cadets lead the Cougars at Cougar Stadium in Gerald. 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
Everything we do for you.
First Central Credit Union has expanded our playbook. First Central helps you roll with the changes. Save on your ride by refinancing your vehicle now. Your new game plan? Same ride, just lower payment. First Central is the local financial team to lead you in a winning season. When you need it the most, visit us online at firstcentralcu.com to see the First Central advantage in times like these.
Subject to membership eligibility. Member NCUA.
How often have you said it's time to get in shape? Every day, every week, every month, maybe for as long as you can remember? How about starting today? I promise if you'll just join Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness now, you'll thank me later. Hi, this is David Smoke, offering a variety of 40 group exercise classes every single week, including boot camp on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:15, plus spin, body shaping, Pilates, yoga, and bar. And there's a free kids club as well. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness open Monday through Thursday 5 to 10, Friday 5 to 8, Saturday and Sunday 7 to 7, and personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corey. World-class tennis facility with pros Britt Coleman and Joe Rosa with lessons, camps, and special events. Spacious and clean workout rooms, locker room for men and women, both with a whirlpool and sauna, and now there's touchless bottle filling stations. No intimidation, tremendous camaraderie, an entirely new atmosphere, and yes, you can do this, but you have to walk through the front door. It's time to react today, not tomorrow. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lakeshore Drive in Waco.
The biggest, the baddest, and proven to be the best. Ram is back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now, get the Ram you've been waiting for less from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels. A new loaded-up 2020 Ram 1500 Longhorn 4x4. Now with a whopping $12,000 off, and first responders receive an additional $500. Big summer clearance event savings from the Ram leader, Alan Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Ask for details. All offers with approved credit.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of health care while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of health care has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Tonight's game stats are sponsored by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Real Texas barbecue with 2 locations in Central Texas. I-35 in Waco and on Highway 190 in Killeen. Next in line.
And I tell you what, we appreciate Glenn Lott and the folks at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on I-35 in Waco. Every week I go by there to pick up product. High school football coaches, and what they do is set us up for a heck of a Tuesday lunch. Been doing that with Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue now for for as long as they've been open. Back with one of their first stores, not the first store, but one of their first stores was on the Loop in Tyler. Did it there. And thanks to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue in Waco, they also have a location in Central Texas on 190 in Killeen. All right, stats in the first half. Connally with 329 yards of offense, 277 yards on the ground. Trey Weisner, 8 carries, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jermone Powell, 4 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. Kavion Gaither, who's he carries everything for Connally. 1 carry for 3 yards. They've not needed him. 1 carry for 17 yards for Jamari Wiggins. Long has 3 carries for 30 yards. Jelani McDonald has a couple of carries on 2 snaps that got away from him for a loss of 8, but 277 yards on the ground for Connally. Kavion Gaither, 3 of 4 passing, 52 yards. 1 catch for Cox III for 13. Weisner, 1 for 28. And Long Jr. has 1 for 11, 329 yards for the Cadets. 152 yards for Gerald. 123 yards on the ground. It's Derek Warren, 15 carries for 75 yards. He does have a 2-point conversion on the run. Quarterback Edgar, 9 carries for 41 yards. He is 4 for 5 passing. Edgar for only 29 yards, but 2 touchdowns. 1 to Crathers. Crathers has 3 catches for 26 yards and a score. And then Bruner had 1 for 3 yards and a touchdown on a play by Edgar that was just spectacular. Sanchez, 1 for 1 extra points. Morales is 5 for 5 on the extra points for Connally. Also, Lamarcus Mcdonald with the 75-yard kick return for the touchdown. De La Fuente and also Trey Walker with sacks tonight so far for Connally. And Crathers, who caught a touchdown for Gerald, has a fumble recovery as well for the Cougars. 35-15, Connally leads Gerald at halftime here at Cougar Stadium in Gerald. Highlights and more coming up next on 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
I hate my job, but I don't mind getting up in the morning. I dread each day, but I can't wait to get out of bed. You ask me why, and what I'll say to you is true. Well, you can get breakfast tacos at Rudy's Barbecue. Scrambled eggs and brisket, they ain't fooling around. Sausage wrap, son, they're the best in town. Barbecue for breakfast, yes, it's true. Put a smile on your morning at Rudy's Barbecue. Next in line.
Graham Property Company will give you the best opportunities and services to navigate and achieve your real estate goals. At Graham Property Company, we strive to establish lasting relationships built on service and performance. Whether you are buying, leasing, selling, or investing, our real estate portfolio and expertise can facilitate your needs no matter what real estate or property need you may encounter. Graham Property Company, property sales, acquisitions, leasing, and management at GrahamInvestmentCo.com.
First Central Credit Union has expanded our playbook. Ready to kick off as a first-time home buyer? Having a hard time making the first down? First Central's open-door mortgage loans up to 95% of the appraised home value. Our starting lineup includes low closing costs, no points, low origination fees, flexible terms, and competitive rates. Thinking about mortgage refinancing? This way works for you too. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We are opening doors to home ownership at First Central.
Some restrictions apply. Rates subject to change. Equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
Have you seen the bleachers and grandstands at Baylor University, McLennan Community College, throughout Waco, Midway, Riesel, Mart, Marlin, La Vega, and Connally ISD? They all have one name in common, Steel, an industry-leading fabricator of engineered seating solutions. There's no substitute for knowledge and experience. Steel has both, with more combined experience in the business than anyone else in the industry. Steel is quality from the ground up. We don't just build grandstands and bleachers, we build trust. Steel.com.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physicians for Baylor Athletics, specializing in diagnosis and treatment of any and all sport-related injuries, celebrating over a decade of service to Central Texas. They tackle all surgical and non-surgical problems that arise from an active lifestyle. Trust the doctors that Baylor trust, and when injuries sideline you, don't wait for Monday. Join us at 8:30 on Saturday mornings for a post-game injury evaluation clinic. Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. We get you back in the game.
Tonight's game highlights are brought to you by Stonewood Dental. Stonewood Dental is your one-stop shop for all your dental needs, and your comfort is our priority at stonewood-dental.com.
35-15 at halftime. Connally leads Gerald here on the road at Cougar Stadium. How do we get to this point? It didn't take long for Connally to send a message on the opening kickoff of tonight's game. Here's the kickoff, and this is Mcdonald. Had a 65-yarder last week and comes this way and turns the corner, and Lamarcus at midfield cuts it back to the right. Lamarcus runs over one of his own players. He's going to take this for a score on the opening kickoff. Lamarcus Mcdonald, 75 yards. 75 yards, and it was kind of, at the beginning, you didn't get the impression that he was about to go the distance, but he did, and he very, very patient run for 75 yards. Extra point, Morales good. 15 seconds into the game, 7-0. Connally, they would then get the ball back after stopping Gerald on fourth down inside the 30-yard line. In fact, inside the Connally 20. Cadets get the ball at their own 19-yard line. The drive would take 3 plays, and this was the biggest part of the drive. Weisner turns the corner. Watch out. 50, 40, 20, 10, 5. Oh, they're going to mark 15. Him out at the 15-yard line. I never saw that, man. What an explosive run by Weisner. 66 yards from Weisner down to the 15-yard line. 2 plays later, from the Gerald 1. Gaither from the gun. Weisner to his left. Trey takes it and will walk in untouched. Touchdown Connally. Touchdown Cadets. 13-0. 8:45 to go in the first quarter. 66-yard run down to the 15. 2 plays later, a 1-yard touchdown. Weisner, 8:45 to go first quarter. Extra point, Morales good, 14-0. 3-play, 81-yard drive. And Connally continued to pack it on after yet another fourth down stop of the Gerald Cougars at the Connally 40. That was a 3-play, 81-yard drive. This is 3 plays for 60. First and goal from the 3. Gaither, this is Powell left side, stops short, leans across and scores. Touchdown, Connally, touchdown, Powell. Jermone Powell, 2-yard touchdown run, extra point, Morales. 5:28 to go in the first quarter. It is 21-0, Connally, 45-second drive, and it still wasn't over after a short punt. Gaither ran it back for a touchdown, but it was a block in the back. But Connally gets the ball back late in the first quarter, up 21-0. 3 minutes, 39-second drive. They go 49 yards in 7 plays. This is Weisner. Huge hole off the right side, and he will score. Touchdown, Connally. Trey Weisner with his second touchdown of the game. He had the 66-yarder, the 1-yard touchdown run, the 12-yard touchdown run, 28-0. Connally, the Cadets are blowing out Gerald. But then you get to the second quarter, and Gerald starts to make some plays, and this time it was their defense. First down, Jelani McDonald bobbles the snap. It's on the turf, and Gerald has recovered. Fumble recovery by Crathers of Gerald. And, well, they turned this around. That was with 7:56 to go in the second quarter. And Gerald would take advantage of it on a 6-play, 29-yard drive. But it comes down to this throw. What a throw by Edgar to try to get the Cougars on the board. Edgar back to throw in the gun. Throws a deep fade. He's got a man open in the end zone. Caught it. Touchdown. That's a heck of a throw. And Crathers right in the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Joseph Crathers with a perfect route. Great throw by Edgar. And then Derek Warren ran it in for 2. 4:35 to go in the second quarter, 28-8. It is Connally up by 20, and the Cadets responded pretty much immediately. And it was, again, Trey Weisner doing most of the damage. Handoff right side, corner, Weisner down the sideline, and he will score. Touchdown. He is a man among boys right now. 21 yards for Weisner. In the first half, he has 162 yards on 8 carries, and about 30 more of it brought back because of a hold near the end of the first half. 35-8 Connally, 3:43 to go in the half. Well, Gerald would get the ball back at their own 25-yard line and go on a very methodical 10-play, 75-yard scoring drive. Low snap. Edgar picks it up, throws it in the back of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. And a flag at the end of the play. How in the world? Very nice by Edgar. He was in trouble. The low snap, picked it up, about to go down and just winged it into the back of the end zone, and Bruner was standing there by himself. Camden Bruner with the touchdown catch. Extra point was good. 23 seconds to go in the half. Connally 35 and Gerald 15. That's where we are. We're still 8 to 10 minutes or so away from the second half. We'll update you on some other scores around Central Texas, the Astros game as well, and more. Sikkim 365 Radio and 106.7 FM, The Eagle.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
The biggest, the baddest, and proven to be the best. Ram is back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now, get the Ram you've been waiting for less from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels. A new loaded-up 2020 Ram 1500 Longhorn 4x4. Now with a whopping $12,000 off. And first responders receive an additional $500. Big summer clearance event savings from the Ram leader, Alan Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Ask for details. All offers with approved credit.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible and rewarding challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like our free First mobile app, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. That's the First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Connally Cadets Halftime Show is sponsored by First Central Credit Union, with locations in Belmead, Hewitt, Waco, Hillsborough, and Brownwood. Everything we do for you.
Astros are 2 outs away from forcing a Game 7 against Rays in the American League Championship Series. They were out 3-0. Came back, Correa last night, walk-off home run to win it. They lead 7-4. They had a 5-run fifth when they were down 1-0. It was 7-1 Astros. Rays now 7-4, but they already have an out with a runner on in the bottom of the ninth. Also, as well, in baseball, it's the Braves and Dodgers. National League Championship Series, of course, the Braves lead that series 3-1. And what a dramatic, Atlanta's so smooth, and 2-0 Braves now, and they're into the top of the third trying to close out the Dodgers. Also, in high school football, elsewhere in District 9 4A Division II, it's 14-7 Salado still at halftime over Chita Spring, and Gatesville now 14-0 over Robinson in a game that matters for Gerald because they beat Robinson. They'll play Gatesville. If they can win that one, they'll be in the playoffs. Connally, of course, expects to be if they win tonight, but they're thinking, without trying to get too far ahead, with that game in a couple of weeks at Chita Spring, the Cougars again trail 14-7. That game at halftime. Temple 31, Coppers Cove 21 at halftime. Shoemaker 14, Ellison 10 at halftime. Back in a moment, more halftime. Connally football 35-15 over Gerald. Sikkim 365 Radio, 106.7 FM, The Eagle.
Texas board-certified personal injury trial lawyer and Baylor alum David Willis and Baylor alum Parker Willis are ready to help if you or a loved one has been wrongfully injured in an auto accident, SUV rollover, industrial accident, 18-wheeler crash, or were seriously injured by a defective product or recall drug. Call them for a confidential and free case consultation at 1-800-GOT-HURT or visit them at texastriallawyer.com. Principal office located in Houston, Texas.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm, welcome home.
Let's face it, some people just like driving around in the nude. Hi, Jay here from Pickup Outfitters to talk about those truck owners that know they have naked trucks but simply don't care. You'll hear them saying something like, I'm just driving around free and easy, nothing constricting me. Gross. But there is something that can entice almost any naked truck owner. Leather. I mean, they kind of go together, right? And Pickup Outfitters is an authorized dealer and professional installer of cat skin leather seats. So I'm asking you to do your part and help us end truck nudity. The next time you're near your naked truck owner friend, you can say something like, you know what would really be sexy on your truck? Leather. And they'll get that sly smile, and you know you've hit them in their weak spot. Pickup Outfitters installs factory matching leather kits or custom kits in just about any color combination for your truck or even car. It's the sexy thing to do. You can be part of the problem, or you can create a commotion with cat skin leather seats at Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
In Texas, there's pea-size hail and baseball-size hail. Guess which one hit our house? We didn't even know where to begin, but we called our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent, and he was so reassuring. He knew exactly what to do to get our house back into shape and our lives back to normal. Now, we're even more thankful for the roof over our heads.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Gerald and Connally back on the field from halftime. 35-15 Cadets. As much as they have dominated the first half, had a couple of drives get away from them. Remember, Gerald had the ball twice in Connally territory and had to turn it over on downs on 4th down. This is where they opened up with a kick return. They'll kick off to Gerald here. This is when your defense needs to make a play, maybe even force a turnover, get the ball, score. One of the guys that works in the press box here for Gerald, when I was saying, never's over, that's because we're talking high school football kids. We're talking about 15 to 18-year-olds, and he comes by, no, it's over. And I get that, but there's always that game, and I know that Connally is so much more talented and has been dominant. Up 20, that's great, but now go polish it off and play well here to start the second half.
Yeah, and look, Gerald gets the ball. I mean, they've moved the ball at times. They could haul and score and make this a little bit interesting real quick.
Salado has scored Rook Brown on a touchdown run from 3 yards out, now leading China Spring 21-7. They are up 14. They beat China Spring tonight. It almost wraps up a district title with 2 weeks to go. Here's a kickoff by Morales, a line drive kick that hits it about the 5. And I tell you what, Warren's going to have to pick it up inside of his 5, and now he's trapped. And almost got loose, but outside to about the 15.
Yeah, he let that go thinking it was going to go in the end zone. It died at about the 2, and he was running the risk of that being the most effective onside kick in the history of the world.
Yeah, he kind of thought it was just going to go carry itself into the end zone, and he eventually had to kind of pick it up and bobble it, and you got people coming down at you, but he did get it out to the 15-yard line. And maybe a player or two, you never know. Someone slips, misses a tackle from being able to go even deeper. And so here's Gerald starting at their 15-yard line. Edgar with Derek Warren. Edgar the quarterback. Warren is behind him, or to his right this time, from the 15. And they run Edgar off the left side, tries to get outside, and Kavion Gaither with a tackle at the ankles. Edgar gets up a little slow at about the 13. He's limping a little bit. That's a loss of 2.
For as much as we talk about guys, Kavion Gaither's an offensive player. I don't know if we really do talk about how good of a tackler he is as well. I mean, he's fantastic out there.
Well, yeah, he is, Paul. I mean, to your point, he can do a little bit of everything, and congrats to him on picking up 3 new offers this week. It had been kind of quiet on the offers front, but Sam Houston State was one of those. I think Southwest Assemblies of God, and there was one more I can't think of, but congrats to Gaither on that.
Warren off the right side and hitting the backfield, slips away out close to the 17 or 18. He got about 5. Weisner and Gaither were there. You're right, Craig. He had, there's a player down, an offensive lineman down for Gerald at about the 15-yard line, and we'll probably take a break here. No, we go with Southwest Assemblies of God, Sam Houston State.
Was there an Eastern something?
Central Arkansas was not one of them. It was
like Eastern. It's on my Twitter feed.
But
like
Sam
4
Houston
days ago.
State is a nice offer. That's a nice place to play football. They've played for the national championship a couple of different times. That's Julian Leal, the center, who's down for Gerald at the 15-yard line. They had the right guard and right tackle go out, remember, earlier on a drive. They were at least not out. They were down. They got up and were able to walk off. But if you look at the Gerald sideline, there are maybe 10 players kneeling, and that's it. And everyone else is on the field. So they got about 20 guys right now, 22 players. This is a 4A Division II. Enrollment very low. They were brought up from 3A Division I, and it's just kind of, it's been a tough run for Amos Davidson and company.
Yeah, it has. And look, they're still, even with their low amount of players and everything like that, they're still
Eastern
New
Mexico University. You're right about the Gaither.
They're still 1 win away from being in the playoffs.
Yeah. So 5 yards for Warren, 16 carries for 80 yards. Yeah, no, this comes down to everybody knew from the beginning, unless somebody got red hot, that China Springs, Salado, and Connally were going to compete for 1, 2, and 3. And then it was a matter of who survived to win the fourth, whether Robinson or Gatesville. And so Gerald, and with Gatesville winning, Their game with Gatesville will be a playoff game when they meet. So it's now 3rd and about 7. Gerald at their 17-yard line. Edgar throws it out. Flat throws a flea flicker. Man is wide open, Bruner. They throw the lateral pass, and Bruner's at the Connally 20 and out of bounds, knocked down inside the 15. There's a flag down at the 17-yard line, and I'm not so sure this was not 2 forward passes. Trey Weisner ran Bruner down at about the 13-yard line. That would be a 69-yard catch and run, but I think that's a double forward pass. I do think that the pass was forward, and that's what kind of surprised me, and I took my eyes off of anybody down the field.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Amos Davidson wants an explanation, but that's what the call is going to be. Yep, illegal forward pass. Wow. How about if that would have worked? And it did work, but if it would have counted.
Yeah, it's a bummer it didn't count.
69 yards on the flea flicker. What a throw, what a route by Bruner, who's already scored a touchdown, all the way down to the Connally 13, but it's all for naught. And Amos Davidson still not done barking, as you could probably feel like the frustration. Azure Rose, is that right, is in the game. Marcus Long comes out at safety. Yeah, we talked about this. Why not pull out all stops? You have nothing to lose if you're Gerald. They're going to mark. It's taken the umpire, God bless him, a long time to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And he'll mark it back inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Illegal forward pass wipes out a 69-yard flea flicker.
Yeah, now they got to correct the down box.
3rd down.
Which looks like it's caught between 3rd and 4th. It's in the phantom zone.
3rd and 12. Edgar with Warren to his right from inside the 15. Edgar pump fake. Looks for Crathers. He's going to run out of room and have to throw it out of bounds, and it's incomplete. Good job by Azure Rose, by the way, and the pump fake to Crathers, and Edgar just couldn't find him quick enough, and he had to run for his life and out of bounds. He was forced out by Lamarcus Mcdonald and Ashton Brooks Williams, and now Gerald will have to punt inside their 15. 10:37, 3rd quarter. 35-15 Connally. They kicked off, and Gerald looked like maybe they were about to make this somewhat interesting, but 69-yard catch and run, nothing out of that because of the illegal forward pass. Back to punt is Torres. Back to field to punt is Gaither. Torres gets it off, line drive punt. Gaither over his shoulder. Now he let it go. That's going to spin down inside the 40. Down to the 35-yard line, and that's where Connally will take over with 10:24 left in the 3rd quarter. 35-15 Cadets. Their first possession of the second half. Offensive line, and again, they've rotated a little bit tonight. Spurlark, Pullen, Kaufman, Beatty, and Gray. Bronche Miles, Parrish Cox III, and Marcus Long have been the receivers. Some split wide, some in the slot, usually Cox. And then also, Kavion Gaither has had Jermone Powell. And Trey Weisner usually lined up to his left and right, Powell to the right. Weisner had 162 yards in that first half. Will line up to his left. Long in the slot near side, and split this way is Cox. Miles far side from the right hash. And Kaufman the center. Kaufman, they give it to Weisner. He makes the first man miss. Now he's going way outside and tries to turn the corner. God-given ability lets him do it. And shoulder pad tackle, and Trey still not down. And finally at the 48-yard line, what a run. And how did he come out of there with what could have been a gain of a yard, a loss of 5, and he picked up 13.
Yeah, and he's hurt.
And that's the shoulder. Now he's had a shoulder problem.
No, it's his. Looks like his left wrist area is what he's grabbing right now.
All of that explosive night, and you heard what Shane Anderson said to you, Craig. And I've mentioned this because Weisner has gone off in about 3 or 4 of the games, but it's been the games in which they've needed him. You know, he did not carry the ball one single time, and he's down right now. Not a single time in the game last week against Salado when they needed something, and he just kind of took himself out a couple of times, and this is, you hope to goodness this is not more than just maybe something got bent backwards a little bit. And he comes off the field, shoulder pads all disheveled.
Yeah, he was running hard there, and that's one of those things that the coaches will go, no, go.
When you have that kind of speed, it's just stupid. Not him. I'm talking about it's so crazy that he can be where he was and pick up 13. Just insane. 175 yards now for Weisner. First down, Connally at their 47, 35-15 lead. Gerald with the three-man front. And Gaither wants to throw. Now he has to scramble. He's in trouble. He's sacked. Back at the 35. There's a flag down, and I think Kaufman, or was that Beatty, one of the offensive linemen for Connally, I think is going to get hit with a late hit. Emerson Kirby with the sack of Gaither back at the 38-yard line, and that's a loss of 9 yards. And in a personal foul after the play ended against Connally.
And you'll notice that Shane Anderson, when anybody gets a penalty, is pulling them out and talking to them for a play.
Well, he'll have a lot of company. That's a loss of 9 and 15, and Jesse Navarre will come in for Junior Beatty. And it's just unnecessary. You have a sack of 9. The offensive line didn't do their job. And then Beatty went over and kind of blindsided a young man from Gerald. And so now it's second down and back to the 23-yard line, and they need the 43 of Gerald, 36 yards. Second down and 36. It's just going to come back and hurt them at some point. It's already done it 3 times. Over 100 yards in penalties for the Cadets. Boy, they're so talented and so good, and sometimes they just blow up. Here's a handoff to Powell off the left side. He's stacked up. Got about 2. Jermone Powell has 55 yards on 5 carries. Weisner, 9 carries, 175. Got a block in the back against Connally. 3 personal fouls. 2 holding calls and a false start.
Well, I mean, they're up 20, so you don't have to dial up that wild 3rd and 36 play, or 32.
They have McDonald on the right side. He'll be in the slot. Remember, he's got a 68-yard touchdown catch this year. Gaither to the right with Powell, and here's a whistle. Penalty against Connally for procedure.
Illegal procedure against the Cadets.
Third down and 38. And this, remember, was after the effort by Weisner from getting basically hemmed in to getting 12, goes down, and from that point forward, it has been backwards inside the 20. Gaither with Powell to his right, 4 receivers, 2 each way, 35-15, Connally and Cavion. Over the middle, it's McDonald at 35. McDonald gets a block downfield, 40, 45 midfield, spins away, and out of bounds at about the 44-yard line of Gerald. They got 34 of it back. Bruner saved something bigger.
Wow.
And Gaither now with 86 yards passing, and Lamarcus Mcdonald in the open field is so electric. Here's 4th and a yard at the Gerald 43. They just got 34. Gaither in the gun, Powell to his left. Gerald moves around. This is Powell right side. First down, 40. Third down and 36, and they got 34. And a first down. Price made the tackle for Gerald.
That's what kind of mismatch you really have here, Smokey. I mean, third down and 34, you shouldn't get that.
And they threw about a 12-yard dump off, and crossing pattern, not a dump off. And McDonald, he got a great block downfield, and I don't know if it was Ronche Miles or who it was, but I think it was to give him even more room. From the Gerald 39, Gaither in the shotgun. Right side is Jermone Powell. Snap from Kaufman, and Gaither will throw again. Over the middle, pass intercepted at the 28-yard line of Gerald. That time he tried to force it in, and Jamari Price picked off Cavion. Intended for Parrish Cox III, and Gerald gets a pick in their second turnover at their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He tried to force it in there. Wasn't a good route. Nothing was good about that. Probably should have just kept it and run the ball.
And Gerald will start at their 29. And It was 28-0. It's 35-15. Gerald had a 69-yard catch and run call back. And who knows? By the way, Salado now 21, China Spring 14. They are starting the fourth quarter. We have 7:53 to go in ours in the third. Edgar in motion, that's Crathers. He give it to Crathers off the zone read. He's got to the 30-35, spun down by Kavion Gaither at the 34, they'll say. He didn't quite get there, but he did pick up 6 yards. This Crathers is a good player. He's got 4 catches for 26 yards, and he also has some carries. I think he's got 12 yards on 3 carries. Made the catch in the end zone over his shoulder and the touchdown in the corner. Second down, they say he only got 5. 2nd and 5, Gerald to 34.
Yeah, he's a tough little cookie there.
Gatesville now leads Robinson 14-0 third quarter in 9-4A Division II. 2nd down and 5. This is Warren off the left side, and he has what looks like a first down close to the 40. Run out of bounds by Gaither and McDonald. And it is a first down and a gain of 6.
Look, it is a 20-point game, but also it's only a 20-point game. And, look, Connally should win this one easily, given what they've done. But if they get complacent here, some weird stuff could happen.
They're certainly playing that way. This could very well be 70-15, but, the bad read on the interception, just kind of not knowing where you are on defense on the last touchdown. It's, you're winning big, but you gotta play it all the way through the whistle.
Gerald at their 40-yard line, 35-15. Connally with 7:06 to go third quarter. Edgar out in the flat, throws it well over the head of Torres, and that could have been almost a lateral, but they say it was a forward pass and incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
I think he got a little nervous there. The pass rush was coming pretty quickly.
March 77, Hubbard nothing. Final, Crawford 47, Rio Vista nothing. Final, Fairfield beat Eustis 27-6. Lorena 35, McGregor 14, mid third quarter. 2nd down, Gerald at their 40. Edgar runs the option and was going to pitch it out to Warren. He ran in. Torres stopped for some reason. He had nowhere to go. Got no yards, tackled by Trey Walker.
Yeah, Walker almost stripped the ball out, too. Edgar lucky to pull it back.
Next week, Gatesville, they got to finish this one. Gatesville is at Mac People Stadium. 6 of the 9 games that Connally will play in their regular season, if they get all of them in, will be at Mac People Stadium. This is the longest trip, less than about an hour, down 35. And then China Spring in 2 weeks, they've already been to La Vega. 3rd down and 10, and Edgar wants to throw. Looks right, goes deep middle. Is Torres down there, and Weisner tips it away. It's a really nice play by Trey. Just taller and just positioned himself. Torres went up to try to catch it, and Trey just batted it down like he's playing ping pong. And it's 4th down, Gerald.
Yeah, that was just athlete on athlete there, and Trey Weisner showed what he can do defensively.
Back is Gaither at about his 30. Torres will make that long route, then come all the way back to punt. Gerald's 1-6. The 1 win is the most important of really the 7 they played. And I think that I thought Connally might have jumped offside. Line drive punt, and Gaither, fair catch at the 31. And if he wouldn't have done that, it would still be bouncing towards the end zone. So Connally 35, Gerald 15 with 6:07 to go third quarter. And the Cadets with the football back. And Weisner, who came in defensively, that's good news, obviously, after what looked like might have been a wrist injury.
If I'm Shane Anderson, I want to see a couple of good drives back-to-back here in the second half. I want to see them put those together. The score to me doesn't much matter right now. I just want to see them play efficiently. As you got 2 more games left, and one of those could be for the district title.
Jamari Wiggins is in the game. He is in the game now for Connally, and Gaither at the 31-yard line for the Cadets, up by 20. This is Wiggins left side, Jamari outside the 35 to the 36 for about 5, 2nd down and 5. Really impressed with what Gerald's done. He told us earlier today they had a broadcast. Someone did a broadcast from here back a couple maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and they were kind of people taking shots at their stadium. I mean, this is a school district that's growing. 2nd down and 5, and now De La Fuente in motion. It stops just off the left tackle. Wiggins left side, Jamari, and he gets loose and into the secondary to the 45 for a gain of 9. And they kind of, I guess I don't know what it was, Amos couldn't make the game. And so he was listening to a broadcast of an opposing radio station, and they started making fun of their facilities, and they had already had this planned, and this is such a beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, the far side is still like the old stands and the old press box. It's just gorgeous. Here's Wiggins again. Jamari, and there's a flag down, and this is, I think, going to be perhaps a holding call or possibly something against Gerald. Oh, it might be against Gerald.
I'm thinking seeing offsides.
So Wiggins, he had about 5. He had the 50. I think this player's being ejected. I actually think that
I know he got tangled up and got tangled up with Bronche Miles, but I didn't see anything.
Jelani Price,
till the flag had already been thrown.
He made that the official on the far side threw that flag, and he threw it quickly. This is a 15-yard penalty against Gerald, and I saw the official kind of like raise his arm and his hand in the air like he was trying to like loosen up his shoulder. And I think he was signifying that there had been a punch, unfortunately, thrown, and Gerald's the one that gets the 15 yards after Wiggins picked up 5 yards on the carry. So now Connally with 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter at the Gerald 36-yard line. Wiggins remains in the game. Jamari right side and gets a couple down inside the 35.
And it's
to
not
the
like
34 for 2.
It's not like Gerald has a deep roster waiting over on that bench either. So you've already, had low numbers, but now you're getting a guy ejected in a game where you can't really afford to lose too many people.
No, you can't. I mean, again, their roster is just over 20. They still have 2 games left after this one. Lamarcus Mcdonald is in the game as the H-back. Weisner's in the slot near side. Wiggins remains in the game to the right of Gaither, who's had 1 carry tonight and then sacked once as well. 2nd down. Wiggins up the middle. Jamari spins away, gets to the sideline. Jamari 10. He will score. Touchdown, Connally. 34 yards. Touchdown, Jamari Wiggins. And there's another sophomore.
Yeah, the future is bright for this Connally team with sophomores that can make plays. You saw Wiggins there just burst and then break tackles.
So they've been able to basically take Kavion Gaither, not that Gerald's taken him out of the game, but he just hasn't had to run the ball. We've seen Weisner, we've seen Powell, we've seen Long, and we just saw Wiggins. And now Morales for another extra point attempt. 41-15, extra point by Morales is up. And Morales is good. 4:07 to go, 3rd quarter. Connally, 42. Gerald, 15 on 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
Have you seen the bleachers and grandstands at Baylor University, McLennan Community College, throughout Waco, Midway, Riesel, Mart, Marlin, La Vega, and Connally ISD? They all have one name in common, Sturdisteel, an industry-leading fabricator of engineered seating solutions. There's no substitute for knowledge and experience. Sturdisteel has both, with more combined experience in the business than anyone else in the industry. Sturdisteel is quality from the ground up. We don't just build grandstands and bleachers, we build trust. Sturdisteel.com.
Connally 42, Gerald 15, 4:07 to go in this 3rd quarter. Grandview's leading West 44-14 in 3A Division I. 2-time defending champion Zebras lead the Trojans by 30. 42-15 here, Connally up 27.
It was a 6-play, 69-yard drive. Took exactly 2 minutes off the clock. Wiggins' 34-yard run makes it 42-15. Cadets, 4:07 to play in the 3rd quarter.
I mentioned earlier, Astros won. They're now forcing Game 7. Braves lead the Dodgers 2-1 in the 4th. Kind of update you on scores as they come down in Central Texas. Last night, Killeen and Belton opened up 12-6A, and Belton won 33-26. Found out today La Vega's win against Brownwood, which was a forfeit. The district executive committee in 5A Division 5, District 5 4A Division 1, they now will, Brownwood can get those back. Here's a kick by Morales that sends Warren back to the 8-yard line, over his shoulder 15. Warren this way to the 15-20. Warren now knifes through and will get out close to about the 40. Nice return by Warren, actually the 35-yard line. So they had to redo the schedule, and I asked Don High, they're going to play Brownwood on November the 2nd, which was supposed to be tonight. Initially ruled as a forfeit, but the district executive committee said, hey, let's shuffle this thing around. And because you know what, one of the schools that would have said, no, you don't know. You could be next, just like what happened to Baylor on Sunday, and then Florida, and then Ole Miss, and then everybody else.
Yeah, you don't want to be, that school that's like, no, they should forfeit, and then you have to do it. Yeah, and look, I think everybody wants to, have because you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball.
Also, a lot of the schools in TAPS told today that they just got to keep breathing.
Yeah. Don't be Le'Veon Bell and stand on principle for no reason.
First down at the 36-yard line. Edgar, the quarterback, 4 receivers. Warren in motion that way. And they give it to him off the right side, 35-40. Warren, 45, has a first down and a gain of 12, tackled by Lamarcus Mcdonald.
Well, Smokey, you said you wanted to see Warren get loose, and he hasn't gotten loose, but the last couple plays you can see what he can do.
Yeah, he's got acceleration, and he runs very fluid. First down at the 48-yard line. Childers in the game as a defensive lineman now for Connally. And as big as Torrey Poland is, you can tell when Childers is in the game. 4-man front. First down at the 48. Gerald down 27. And Edgar wants to throw, flush for the pocket near side. Now throws it down the sideline. The pass is incomplete. And, I see what the crowd's upset about. Bruner kind of turned away from Rose, and then he got tied up and got shoved from behind as the pass was going out of bounds. Actually, Isaiah Stevens may have gotten away with one, but Bruner is on the turf and down. 3:14 to go, third quarter. Craig?
Unless he was going to go reside in the field goal net on the sideline and catch the football, he was not going to catch that football. But, yeah, there was a little tangled up as, was trying to make a play in the recovery. He was open for a bit, but, just got tangled up. And, unfortunately, he's down, but that ball was not going to be catchable.
Yeah, I would call that incidental contact.
And the part that hurts the most, of course, is Bruner is still down because it kind of was an awkward fall. We've seen Gerald have several players who have gone down, and, of course, he's up now. It's good. Looks like he's limping a little bit. He caught a touchdown on that remarkable throw by Edgar, just kind of almost a no-look touchdown pass that gave Gerald their second touchdown. He had the 69-yarder that was called back because of an illegal forward pass. So 3:14 to go in the third quarter, and Connally, with their really only true road trip until they find out what they're going to do most likely in the postseason. So second down and 10 after the incomplete pass by Edgar at Gerald's 48, down 27. This is Edgar off the right side. He's got into Connally territory, picked up 11 and a first down. Tackle made by Jermone Powell.
That was a really nice fake there on the pitch that froze one defender enough to allow him to get up into the crease there and get the first down.
Let me tell you something. We've talked a lot about Connally and their obviously penalties, but defensively they are allowing less than 200 yards per game. It's a little bit over that, I think, right now. Leathers is in the game now for Connally. First time we've seen him. This is Warren hitting the backfield, and he'll be knocked down for a big loss back at the 47-yard line.
And this is why they're allowing so few yards a game. It's not just not letting people get first downs. It's after big plays, they create big plays on their own. They get in the backfield so well, and they're a really good tackling team.
But that's also why the penalties are so frustrating, is because they do have such a good defense, and they are explosive on offense at times, and they kill themselves with those plays. Otherwise, they wouldn't struggle as much in certain situations.
Powell and Walker on the tackle that time, I think, of Warren. Is that correct, Ryan? Powell and Leathers. Second down and 15. Edgar in the gun. Throws a deep ball down the sideline. He's got Crathers there, and a nice job by Weisner to get between he and the ball, who kind of outran the football. It's a good throw by Edgar.
Yeah.
And a really good route by Crathers, and then Weisner just outran it third down.
Yeah, and tipped it away. And the only way Crathers was going to catch that was going to the ground once Weisner got it, but tipped it away just enough so he couldn't get it.
46-yard line, Gerald. 42-15 Connally with 1:56 to go in this third quarter. And Edgar will have 3rd and 15. Edgar wants to set up a screen. He throws it to Warren in the middle of the field. And Lamarcus Mcdonald with a great play. It was initially Torres Luna who kind of interrupted the play. He ended up getting 6 yards, but Lamarcus Mcdonald knocks him down, and Warren only picks up 6.
Yeah, Lamarcus Mcdonald reacted to that perfectly.
4th down coming up, Gerald, and about 9 at the Connally 40. Connally ran the opening kickoff. McDonald about 75 yards back for a touchdown. Weisner had 3 touchdowns in the first half at 162 yards. Gerald did score a couple of times. It was 35-15, but right now the only points of this third quarter for the Cadets on Wiggins' touchdown. 4th and 9, Edgar. Pressure, sideline pass, incomplete. That was a really good throw, and Parrish Cox III got right up into Price, and that ball was knocked away. That's a really big boy play by Parrish Cox III.
Yeah, that was a great play.
I think it was partially Parrish Cox and partially that was such a dart. It just hit him right in the chest, So it's like there was no room for error, and then you take into account Cox, messing with him as well, and it was, just a nice play all the way around.
So Connally will take over just outside their 40, up 42-15. Brooks Williams in the game at running back. Gaither the quarterback. De La Fuente's the left. He'll be the H-back. They'll have 3 receivers. Parrish Cox III, who just made that play on defense, splits near side. Ronche Miles all the way in front of the Connally bench, and Weisner is in the slot. 42-15. Connally dominating this game. At one point, it got a little bit dicey, up 20, and gave up a long play, but that was called back. This is Brooks Williams off the left side, and Ashton gets out to the 43 for a gain of about 2. Lots of different people have carried the ball. Brooks Williams, Gaither, Wiggins, Long, Weisner, Powell, Jelani McDonald. 2nd down, they're letting that clock run down. Could be the last play of the third quarter. In the slot, Weisner. Boy, he's a good-looking body for a sophomore. 2nd down and 8. De La Fuente stops right side at the H-back position, and they give it to Brooks Williams off the right side, and Ashton gets loose. 40. Brooks, 30. Ashton, Brooks, Williams, 15, and tripped up. Tripped up just shy of a long touchdown. Ashton Brooks Williams to the 12. That's a 45-yard run.
That's Brooks Williams with the run.
He is one of my. There's a lot of young men that have been explosive tonight. He is one that just, when we make a comment about him, it's always a play. That's the end of the third quarter. Connally 42 and Gerald 15. Fourth quarter is next. The Cadets trying to get to 4-3 and 2-1 in District 9 4A. 106.7 The Eagle. And also Sikkim 365 Radio.
The Sikkim 365 Radio High School Football Showcase is sponsored by the U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company at GoArmy.com or 254-598-8131.
Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
That game between Troy and Yo now going overtime, and what I thought would be an absolute shootout, 14 apiece. Troy had the ball in the last couple of minutes, but had a 4th down, and the snap went through the quarterback's hands, and Yo couldn't do anything with it near midfield. So they're going overtime. Now it might end up being a track meet. Temple has polished up their win to open up district play against Copper's Cove 38-21. It's been a long time since Cove was relevant. Maybe not even the last couple of years of Jack Welch's years. First down and 10 at the 12-yard line of Gerald. And Kavion Gaither has a man that's De La Fuente will set up on the left side of the H-back. And Kavion gives it to Ashton Brooks-Williams, who almost just scored. He gets inside the 10 and down close to the 5. They'll give him the 4 for a gain of 8.
Just real quick on Copper's Cove, talking to Scott Stewart this week, he said, what they're missing really is the linemen that they used to have and dominate up front. They still have playmakers all over the field, but they don't mash people up front like they used to in the glory days of Jack Welch.
From the 4, second down and about 2. Childers at right guard, Kopman the center, Gaither with Ashton Brooks-Williams to his right. On second down and about 2. This is Brooks-Williams up the middle, and he leans, and they say he was down at the 1. Boy, they're trying to get Ashton in the end zone. He got about 3, and it's first and goal from the 1, 58 yards on 4 carries for Ashton Brooks-Williams as they start this fourth quarter up 42-15. Salado, we'll go quick snap here. Gaither from the 1. Gaither, Ashton Brooks-Williams, and he will be spun down, and still no signal.
He's short.
And he's short.
He lost yardage, if anything.
Salado 28-14, they lead China Spring. That game is in the fourth quarter. Salado came out to start the third quarter up 7 and had an 8-minute scoring drive. You ever heard that before?
Yeah, by the way, did you see Kavion Gaither kind of shove Ashton Brooks-Williams?
Like it was Reggie the Bush push. All right, from the 1 foot line, Ashton Brooks-Williams, who had the long run to get him there, and they give it to him again off the left side, and Ashton Brooks-Williams will score. He was kind of held up. It depended on the knees, and Ashton Brooks-Williams, touchdown Connally. 10:23 to go in the game. It's 48-15 Cadets.
And another player from Gerald is down.
Theory Safula is down. So I'm telling you now, we got some huge numbers here for Connally in the running attack. Like Sunnyvale type numbers.
Really? I'm not surprised.
48-15 with 10:23 to go. And he gets up and he's limping pretty severely. Extra point by Morales to come.
35 full. Give him another hand, folks.
I have a score update for you.
All right.
Cedar Hill 27, Aledo 17 final.
All right, good for them. Joey McGuire said Cedar Hill's offense will probably carry them tonight.
That's another pick I got wrong.
380 yards rushing for Connally. Extra point by Morales is good. And with 10:23 to go in this one, it's Connally 49 and Gerald 15. 9-4A Division II, District 9-4A Division II in Class 4A. Connally up 33 now. Actually 34 on Sikkim 365 radio and 106.7 The Eagle.
Masonic Construction is celebrating 52 years as an award-winning, family-owned and operated business excelling in general construction and construction management. Masonic Construction is proud to support Connally ISD's tradition of excellence in education and athletics, including owners calling Connally High their alma mater, Vicky Masonic, class of 1974, and Aaron Miner from the class of 2002. Masonic Construction, celebrating 50-plus years by building trust with quality work. MasonicConstruction.com.
49-15. Morales is 7 for 7 tonight at extra points. Connally has just been way too much from almost the start, even when Gerald kind of got a little bit close with the 20-point deficit, the long catch that was called back. And now Cadets have poured on the Jets. Wiggins scores. Brooks Williams scores. Ryan Davis, our spotter, Thanks to Amos Davidson. I know his team's going to go to 1-7 tonight, but for all the hospitality of getting us where we are and the setup we're at, here's a kickoff that hits at the 10, goes back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and Gerald will start at the 25-yard line. 10:23 left in the game. And so it appears as if in fact, with 2:40 to go in the game, Salado holds on to their win against China Spring, Connally wanting a piece of the district championship pretty much could be over, because I don't see Salado losing to whoever they have left. In fact, it'll be Gerald will be one of those teams, and then Robinson. So it's going to come down to how do you finish, your second or third, and who you play. The other district has Carthage. You want to avoid them as all possible. That's a fourth-place team. Jasper's undefeated. You'd rather not have to play them on the road, so you beat China Spring. If you do, and you get to host a playoff game to start everything. All right, Edgar will start at his 25-yard line, and Warren is out of the game, it appears. Derek Warren, who went over 1,000 yards, and they give it to Torres, and he's hitting the backfield, and the ball is loose, and Connally recovers. Weathers is the one that created the fumble, and Ashton Brooks-Williams recovered for Connally inside the Gerald 25.
Guess who? Johnny on the spot.
He just scored, and he just recovered a fumble. And you got to give, was it Weathers who's come in and made a couple of plays since we saw him? We have not covered or talked about him. Aquavion Leathers, a 5'9", 170-pound junior, made a play, and Connally will start at the Gerald 29-yard line.
I think that's what I've enjoyed most about tonight is that there's not been a lot of suspense. Connally's been in pretty firm control of this game. Got maybe a little questionable for a stretch, but just the number of players who are making plays tonight and standout plays at that.
Jelani McDonald back in the game. Last time he was in the game, he had to try to fight off to get the snap. Also in the game on the offensive line is Jacob Gibson. Ryan Davis finding all these new names and faces. This is McDonald, the long off the right side, and Marcus spun down. It looked like he may have lost a yard back to the 20. Yeah, they've been able to play a lot. And I tell you what, and what's great about it is they've been able to keep Kavion Gaither from taking too many hits tonight. Here comes another player, that's Isaiah Carter, 31 in the game, as Connally has emptied their bench. And Long has 29 yards on 4 carries, as Connally's nearly 400 yards rushing so far in this game with 9:40 to go, up 49-15. McDonald, snap, keeps it up the middle. Jelani inside the 20, down close to the 15, and keeps digging. Got about 10, down to the 10. Tackled by Bruner and Price.
Yeah, just a little bit short of the first down. He's tall. He's, like Craig said before, I mean, this is the kid who looks the part.
I'm going to tell you something. Don't laugh at me. When he started running, who did he look like? Long, lanky, like he's gliding?
I know you're not thinking Vince Young.
I would never say that.
Yeah.
Second down, third down and a yard, but he kind of has a glide to him from the 10-yard line, and I'm surely not saying that. And McDonald keeps it here, tries to get around the corner, and he has a first down inside the 10. Jelani fights for the goal line and scores. Touchdown. What an effort by Jelani McDonald. Wow. You bring up Vince Young and he scores a touchdown, Craig. 10-yard run by Jelani McDonald, and guess what? It's another young man on the roster and yet another sophomore.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many different guys have gotten in the end zone tonight, but there's 2 in the last 2 scores with Brooks Williams and now McDonald, and that's got to be a great feeling for him. Had the bobble, the fumble earlier, and just what a nice second, third, and fourth effort, and great job by his teammates as well.
Well, and here's Lerma, who's kicked off tonight quite a bit, attempts the extra point. Gaither remains in with a hold. Snap. Cole, kick. Lerma is good. Special teams have been good. They had a punt return call back, remember. And Connally, 56, Gerald 15 with 8:36 to go. Wiggins has scored. Weisner scored 3 times. Powell has scored. McDonald has scored. Brooks Williams has scored. And Lamarcus Mcdonald scored in the kick return. 56-15. Connally rolling over Gerald with 8:36 to go in the fourth quarter. We're live in Gerald, and this is Sikkim 365 Radio and 106.7 FM, The Eagle.
Car has the trucks, man, they have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man, he has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Our good friend and one of the great partners, owners of Sikkim 365, Brian Etheridge, a Connally cadet graduate, has a beautiful home, and he showed me a picture on his flat screen with CC, the cadets interlocking double C's of their logo on his wall. 56-15, Connally kicking off, and this is Morales with a fairly decent kick. That's Torres at about the 15, 20. Torres at the 25, 30, and just outside the 30-yard line. Yeah, a lot of guys have been able to play tonight. And one of the things Shane Anderson told me, Paul and Craig, was, you know, he sent the roster to Amos Davidson because you got to send it to the team that hosts the game. And Amos even said, you got a lot of JV players. And Shane knew that this could get out of hand and wanted to make sure that a lot of guys had a chance to play their first ever varsity action. And then Ken Webb sent me an updated roster, and we're playing all the. Ramon Fuentes is now one of the safeties, and we have seen Weathers, and we've seen Carter and Javon Cross. And this is great for morale. And it's also nice to win. And you were expected to if you're Connally, but you have now separated again. Nearly 400 yards rushing. And here's the snap to Edgar off the left side, and another hit in the backfield by Ashton Brooks-Williams for a loss of about 6. Raiden Vrabel is the quarterback. Oh, no, he's the quarterback. Yeah, Vrabel was the one that took the snap and handed off to Bruner, and he lost 5 yards. And Bruner, last time, Paul, he tried to carry the football. He's the one that fumbled the ball, I think.
Yeah, it's been a rough go here in this third and fourth quarter so far, and it doesn't seem like anything has gone the right way for Gerald.
Gatesville 17-6 lead over Robinson. Here is a handoff off the left side, and nice run out of bounds outside the 30-yard line, close to the 35, and that is short of the first down. It's a gain of about 8. $10 yards. Yeah, that's a player who's not listed on the roster. There was 8 and 9 for Gerald were not on the roster. They were in the stat sheets, and Amos did not expect him to play. But again, he's had some injuries tonight, but they were suited up. 3rd down and 7 now for Gerald. 56-15, Connally. This is handoff off the right side of the 41. It'll be 4th down and a couple of yards to go. 6:55 clock running. That was Jelani Price picked up about 4. Lamarcus Mcdonald ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. And from that point on, Connally has never looked back. 28-0 first quarter, 35-15 at halftime, 56-15 now. And Vrabel is in the is in the shotgun. 4th down, they got a man in motion, Torres, and Vrabel keeps it as the first down outside the 45 to the 48, then a gain of 9 in the first down.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for a lot of guys just to get the reps, as you guys were talking about earlier, and really see what you have to work on. And you know, sometimes you sit there and you know what you are against your own guys, or you know you can play, but you don't play that much, and then you get to see, you know, what you can do against somebody in a different uniform. It's a big confidence boost.
We're on the 48-yard line. Vrabel, quarterback. Clock down under 6 minutes to go off the left side, and that's a gain of about 5 down to the Connally 47. There are just numbers we have not seen at all, and that's fun. Not always for us, though, because we got to find him. Jacob Gibson was there. Weathers has come in and really kind of shown you he's not a big kid, 5'9", but he's very active. There's some guys out there right now that could easily just wet themselves because this is varsity football for the first time, and I mean that in a fun-loving way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, God, I'm playing football on a Friday night in Texas. 5 minutes left from the Connally 47. Bravo wants to throw. This is Crathers, who got a touchdown earlier. He tries to hurdle. Nice job in the tackle by Azure Rose, and a pickup of about 4. 3rd down and 2 coming up at the Connally 43-yard line. Crathers has 4 catches for 30 yards, and that's Boyard, the running back, who was not on the roster for tonight, who's number 8 behind Vrabel. From 3rd down and 2, this is Bouillard, left side, has a first down to the 42. That'll stop the clock until they move the sticks with 4:24 to go. So Connally now returns home the game to face Gatesville. Salado cleaning up tonight after falling behind early to China Springs 7-0. They win 28-14, and they do it the way they always do it, with that time-consuming slot tee, and they play just kind of really, really efficient defense. First down, Gerald at the 42 of Connally. Crathers in motion. They'll give it to him off the left side. Zone read, bottled up. Now wants to come back this way. Weathers has got him. Gets away at the 45. At the Connally 40, and Azure Rose tackles him out of bounds, and a really nice job. Nobody lost their lane. Got about 6 or 7 yards.
By the way, Smokey, clock is not stopping, it appears.
Yeah, we were both looking at that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so.
Well, that's good because, I mean, this is one of those that could have gotten, Craig mentioned this earlier, Gerald had some things to build on tonight, but eventually they just run out of bodies and gas, and it's just so explosive what Connally can do. But this could have been 75-10. And Gerald can come out of this somehow still with a little bit of a positivity. This is Bouillard, and Weathers wraps him up after a short gain of a couple of yards. It's now down to under 3 minutes left. Connally over 400 yards rushing. Kick return for a touchdown. The penalty's still an issue, but they probably always will be. This is just a team that sometimes they have the personal fouls that are just aggressive, and Shane goes, listen, you can't do much about that. It's the ones that are the post play that get you a little bit nuts. 3rd down and 3. Gerald at the 35 of Connally. 56-15. Cadets up by a bunch. Bouillard, although he's got a man wide open, this is going to be Gerald, and close to the goal line at about the 1. Nice throw to Weston Miller from Braden Vrabel. Down to the 1. That's a 34-yard catch and run.
That's number 11, Weston Miller. You can run out just
And so Gerald's going to have 1st and goal with 2 minutes to go at the Connally 1-yard line. So they've hit a couple of passes, but right now they're going up again. Although Azure Rose played a little bit this year, at that cornerback position. So from the 1, Vrabel the quarterback, Bouillard to his left, minute 45 to go. Crathers in motion. They give it to him. He bobbles the snap and tries to turn the corner, and he does. Touchdown, Gerald. That's pretty nifty, Paul. He had kind of lost control of that. Crathers is one of their top 2 or 3 players, and he scores his 2nd touchdown.
Yeah, Crathers, he's fun to watch. I mean, he's got some skill. And by the way, that drive took 7 minutes and 1 second off the clock. That's the glory of the running clock in the 4th quarter.
You and Craig, you're right, man, because it's a blowout. Yeah. By the way, Troy and Yo are in overtime. Troy scored on a Robotic touchdown run. Extra point is good. 56-22, Connally with a minute 31 to go in the game. So they scored first, Robotic did. Troy came back on a 4th and goal, got a 4th down, and got offsides against Troy, scored and missed the extra point. Oh. And Troy beats the Yeoman 21-20.
Man, I'm not getting any of these pick'em games, guys. I'm not getting them. I'm never going to get them. It's not going to happen to me.
I missed that one too, so whatever.
You're up by 7 games, Craig. I don't want to hear your whining.
Hearn 25, Thrall nothing. Marlin gets another win. How about David Haynes, what he's doing there, 28-14. Yeah, Troy had a 4th down. They had an offsides call against, Yo did at the 6-yard line. Troy jumped off, they scored, and then missed the extra point. Wow, that district is bipolar. Seriously. It's crazy. And Academy's going to end up probably missing the playoffs after a 5-0 start. Lorena's rolling past McGregor in a game that, McGregor had really kind of looked like they had kind of gotten themselves back in position. I did lose this one. Mejia 40, Van 28. That's a nice win for you guys.
Hell, I picked Van. So that's another loss.
I picked the Black Cats.
Oh, really?
I'm loyal.
56-22. Gerald will line up at their 40. And you would think they'll just kick it away. Line drive kick, and this is Cox that lets it go through his legs and into the back of the end zone. Thanks to Amos Davidson, athletic director and head football coach here at Gerald. It's a good place. I really like what they've done here. And this could be like the next, I don't want to say like Pflugerville or whatever, where in 5 or 6 years this could be.
Well, Austin is growing, and this is not. Georgetown is already pretty big, and this is the next step up.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like Waxahachie's growing, and Midlothian and Mansfield and Dallas. It's all squeezing.
And you see, and I was driving down here, and of course Waco is a cluster, and it will be for a decade because of what they're doing around inside the town of 35. But you look at what they've done outside and through Temple from what it used to be like just south of Waco. It's a 6-lane highway most of the way, and it's just clean as a bell.
Still just 65 through Temple, though.
Nah, it depends on who's driving. Gaither takes a knee. This will go against the team.
That's not the point.
I had somebody today,
one of us got a ticket a few months ago there because it's only 65, and I'm talking about me.
All right, so that's you because you don't know how to drive safely. I'm driving through just, I say it was just outside of Temple, and I see a DPS officer on the other side, and I'm like, oh, he's on the other side, and while I'm paying attention to him, here's another guy on the right side, and I'm doing 75 miles an hour. So I'm about, me.
Yeah.
Suggested speed limit. I wasn't even doing above 80, and I'm like, oh, and he starts moving. He gets right up behind me and blows by me like I'm standing still.
I'm aware.
Here's another snap to Gaither. That's going to wrap it up, 45 seconds. I'm not sure if they'll – that should be the last play. And so Connally does, guys, what they have to do. Craig will have Shane Anderson and possibly, I don't know, Craig, somebody. We had a player if we can as well. But they did what they had to do, and they got to still clean up some of the things that drive you a little bit batty. But they're going to win 56-22. They'll go 4-3 in the year, 2-1 in the district, and now Gatesville next week.
Yeah, they did exactly what they had to do. They got to clean up. They've got to, especially before China Spring, they've got to clean up the penalties at least as much as they can. I don't think it's going to be something that they wipe away completely, but it's something that they can get better at.
Yeah, no question. Ryan Davis, you were great tonight. Always good. Tonight you were Trey Weisner for us in the booth. Really, really good. Because this was a challenge because of the setup, the lighting, beautiful place we have here in Connally is now official. 56 and Gerald 22. So right now Salato's 3-0. China Spring and Connally are 2-1. Gerald is 1-2. Gatesville's about to be 1-2. And Robinson, that's Gerald, that Gatesville game is final. They beat Robinson, and Robinson 0-3. Appreciate everybody here at Gerald ISD. It's a great place to have been doing the show throughout the day with Sikkim 365 Radio. Craig Smoke will have Shane Anderson momentarily, and brought to you by our good friends again at Parsons Roofing. Masonic Construction, Sturda Steel, Graham Properties, Parsons Roofing, and American Bank are corporate sponsors of Connally football. Craig?
Coach, dominating second half, 56-22 the final. Do you like what you saw in the second half, and do you like the way your team finished this one out?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think we cleaned some things up, executed a little bit better, and eliminated some penalties in the second half. Just proud of our effort all night long, and with this win, we clinch a playoff spot. So that's goal number one, is to get in the playoffs.
What'd you think of your running game tonight? It's featured a lot of Kavion Gaither, but tonight, he was everybody. That's got to be so fulfilling to see Ashton Brooks-Williams and Jelani McDonald and everybody get into the end zone the way they were.
Yeah, we want to spread the love a little bit tonight and make sure that KG came out here healthy. That was our main thing. And, kids did a good job. O-line did a good job. Our 2 O-line got in and did a good job. So very proud of those guys.
How much does that benefit you moving forward, getting that little bit of action for some guys?
I think it benefits you a bunch. I told them at halftime, we're always looking for that third defensive end or fourth linebacker, or third defensive tackle, or, fifth offense or sixth offensive lineman, things like that. So, it's an opportunity for those kids to show us that they can get it done, and for us to have some confidence in them if we need them.
Outside of that late score, what did you think of the way your defense played tonight and in the second half?
I thought we did a good job. We had a couple busts on the back end, got our eyes in the backfield, some things that we haven't really done, kind of uncharacteristic of us, but we'll get that cleaned up and, get it going for next week.
Well, congrats, Coach. Enjoy it.
Thank you, guys.
Craig, thank you very much. You can pick and choose who you think you'd like to get for a player of the week. It was a dominant win for Connally. Second quarter a little bit loose, but they do win 56-22. That's the final, 56-22. We'll have stat of the game, play of the game, highlights of the game, and so much more. In fact, we'll come back in just a moment with the stats. Gerald finished with 279 yards. And I want to stress this again about Connally. Their defense, the Connally defense, is allowing per game only 183 yards a game. Back in a moment with more from Craig and the stats and highlights. This is 106.7 Eagle and Sikkim 365 Radio. Connally wins it 56-22.
The Connally Cadets postgame show is sponsored by American Bank. Face-to-face banking, state-of-the-art technology, local decisions.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and 2-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Have you seen the bleachers and grandstands at Baylor University, McLennan Community College, throughout Waco, Midway, Riesel, Mart, Marlin, La Vega, and Connally ISD? They all have one name in common, Sturtisteel, an industry-leading fabricator of engineered seating solutions. There's no substitute for knowledge and experience. Sturtisteel has both, with more combined experience in the business than anyone else in the industry. Sturtisteel is quality from the ground up. We don't just build grandstands and bleachers, we build trust. Sturtisteel.com.
This interview with Connally Cadets AD and head football coach Shane Anderson is brought to you by Parsons Roofing, America's #1 Duralast company since 1948 at parsonsroofing.com.
56-22. Connally will have a stat of the game, highlights, and much more. Craig Smoke down with more of our post-game show. Craig?
Here with running back Trey Weisner. Trey, 3 touchdowns in the first half, had some big-time runs. Did you feel good going in tonight? Did you feel like a big game was in store?
Yes, sir, I did. Teammates and we just practiced well. The practice led to a big game.
Did you see some massive holes there early on?
Yes, sir. Every cutback I took, it was wide open.
So you guys dominated early on. You also made some plays on defense as well. Just what was kind of the mood of the team coming into this one? What was the focus, and do you feel like you accomplished that tonight?
Oh, yeah, so I feel like we accomplished it, and the goal was just to let the other players that don't really just play a lot be able to play a lot today. And, we did that. We came out, we conquered our goal.
Yeah, I saw Jelani get in the end zone. Ashton Brooks-Williams got in the end zone. I mean, what's that like as a friend and as a teammate just to see everybody scoring and everybody getting there to make plays?
It feels good. You want all your brothers to see. You don't never want nobody down, It feels good.
So you're a young player, so you got a ways to go. What has been sort of like the learning lessons for you so far this season?
Never stop working. Always look to get better, always.
What do you think the potential of this team is? I know you guys have had your setbacks, but you've had your comebacks as well, and tonight obviously a big game. What do you think the potential is for this team, and what is it going to take to do that?
We got a great potential, We just keep everybody on the right track, make sure everybody's healthy, stay as a team, and brotherhood is the main thing, just stay together always.
How big is it to clinch a playoff spot and know that that's there and that's already something that you guys can know that you can rely on?
Real big. This is my first year going to the playoffs with a varsity team. It feels real good.
So, fun ride back home, I think?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Real good.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on a huge game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Craig. That's Trey Weisner, and tonight he didn't have to do much after the first half. He finished with 175 yards on 9 carries. He had 162 of those 175 yards in the first half of the 3 touchdowns, and had one about a 35-yard run that was called back because of holding. He would have been close to 200 again like he was in the opener against Sunnyvale. So that's Craig Smoke. When we come back, the stats, stat of the game, highlights, and more. Connally 56, Gerald 22. Final, Sikkim 365 Radio, 106.7 FM, The Eagle.
Parsons Roofing has been serving Central Texas since 1948, and we can handle your commercial roofing needs from repair to re-roofing. And no one handles more school than Parsons Roofing. Parsons Roofing has been named Contractor of the Year for 14 consecutive years. Parsons Roofing, a name Central Texans have trusted for over 70 years. It's not just a roof, it's our reputation. You can contact us today for a free roof evaluation, including hail claims at 877-881-1733 or on the web at parsonsroofing.com.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
Graham Property Company will give you the best opportunities and services to navigate and achieve your real estate goals. At Graham Property Company, we strive to establish lasting relationships built on service and performance. Whether you are buying, leasing, selling, or investing, our real estate portfolio and expertise can facilitate your needs no matter what real estate or property need you may encounter. Graham Property Company, property sales, acquisitions, leasing, and management at GrahamInvestmentCo.com.
The biggest, the baddest, and proven to be the best. Ram is back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now, get the Ram you've been waiting for less from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels. A new loaded-up 2020 Ram 1500 Longhorn 4x4. Now with a whopping $12,000 off. And first responders receive an additional $500. Big summer clearance event savings from the Ram leader, Alan Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Ask for details. All offers with approved credit.
How often have you said it's time to get in shape? Every day, every week, every month, maybe for as long as you can remember? How about starting today? I promise if you'll just join Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness now, you'll thank me later. Hi, this is David Smoke, offering a variety of 40 group exercise classes every single week, including boot camp on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:15, plus spin, body shaping, Pilates, yoga, and bar. And there's a free kids club as well. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 10, Friday, 5 to 8, Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 7, and personal trainers, Christy London and Randall Court. World-class tennis facility with pros Britt Coleman and Joe Rosa with lessons, camps, and special events. Spacious and clean workout rooms, locker room for men and women, both with a whirlpool and sauna, and now there's touchless bottle filling stations. No intimidation, tremendous camaraderie, an entirely new atmosphere, and yes, you can do this, but you have to walk through the front door. It's time to react today, not tomorrow. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lakeshore Drive in Waco.
Tonight's game stats are sponsored by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Real Texas barbecue with 2 locations in Central Texas. I-35 in Waco and on Highway 190 in Killeen. Next in line,
56-22. Connally has beaten Gerald to go 4-3 on the year, 2-1 in District 9, 4A, tied for second with China Spring. As Salado now 3-0 in the district with their win 28-14 against the Cougars. Connally with 400 yards of total offense. 400 yards, of rushing offense. Weisner, 175 yards, 9 carries and 3 touchdowns. Jamari Wiggins, 6 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Jermone Powell, 6 carries, 58 yards and a touchdown. Ashton Brooks Williams, 5 carries, 58 yards and a touchdown. Jelani McDonald, 3 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown. And Kavion Gaither only had to carry the ball. He carried 1 time for 3 yards. He was sacked for -9. It's going to screw up his overall totals, but he's fine because he did not take any hits tonight. He normally would be the one that carries it 25-plus times a game, but he gets a chance to basically just be the bus driver tonight. Gaither, by the way, 4 of 6 passing, 86 yards. He did throw the 1 interception. Cox III had a catch for 13 yards. Weisner 1 for 28. Long Jr. 1 for 11. McDonald 1 for 34. And 486 yards of total offense. They turned it over twice, a fumble and also the interception. But Connally, 486 yards, 400 on the ground. Gerald finished with 279 yards of total offense, 206 yards rushing. Derek Warren over 1,000 yards for the year, 19 carries, 93 yards. He didn't score. He did have a 2-point conversion, but did not score a touchdown. Edgar, 12 carries for 53 yards. Bruner had 3 carries for 11. Robble had 2 carries for 10. Price 1 for 6. Torres 2 carries for a yard. And Crathers had 6 carries, 19 yards and a touchdown. And Farr 1 for 4. Edgar tonight was 5 of 10 passing for 35 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Vrabel 2 for 2 for 38. 206 yards rushing for Gerald. 279 yards total offense, 73 yards passing. And that's where we are with the stats. We'll come back with the stat of the game, highlights, and more. 56-22, Connally has beaten Gerald. This is 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
I hate my job, but I don't mind getting up in the morning. I dread each day, but I can't wait to get out of bed. You ask me why, and what I'll say to you is true. Well, you can get breakfast tacos at Rudy's Barbecue. Scrambled eggs and brisket, they ain't fooling around. Salsa drap, son, they're the best in town. Barbecue for breakfast, yes, it's true. Put a smile on your morning at Rudy's Barbecue. Next in line.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of health care while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of health care has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Waco's newest gym, Halo Athletic Center, 5725 Bagby Avenue, right behind Region 12 and across the highway from the Central Texas Marketplace, where motivation, inspiration, and hard work are the driving force. State-of-the-art equipment, indoor and outdoor track, locker rooms, showers, yoga and bar classes by Duality Yoga, bod pod potty composition analysis, and registered dietitians, all under one roof, where we rise above. Come join the Halo Athletic Center and be a part of the change, your change.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
The Connally Cadets Stat of the Game is sponsored by Willis Law Firm. Willis Law Firm. We strive to provide excellent service to meet or exceed our clients' expectations at thewillisgroup.com.
$56-22. Connally has beaten Gerald. We'll get to the stat of the game. The stat of the game has to be that Kavion Gaither had 1 carry for 3 yards. He was sacked for loss of 9 and had 2 knees at the end of the game to take a victory position, take the victory formation. Kavion Gaither, who's averaging, oh my goodness, give me my spotter board for Connally. They've played 6 games. Kavion Gaither was averaging about 150 yards a game. He had 1 carry officially for 3 yards. He was sacked for 6, and that's it. And they won 56-22. And as even Shane Anderson told Craig Smoke in the postgame, we wanted to take whatever we could out of his load, the amount of carries, keep him safe, moving the next week with Gatesville, and that's who they'll host next week. Highlights after this, Paul? When we come back, the highlights of, again, the final. Connally 56, Gerald 22 on Sikkim 365 Radio, 106.7 FM, The Eagle.
Texas board-certified personal injury trial lawyer and Baylor alum David Willis and Baylor alum Parker Willis are ready to help if you or a loved one has been wrongfully injured in an auto accident, SUV rollover, industrial accident, 18-wheeler crash, or were seriously injured by a defective product or recalled drug. Call them for a confidential and free case consultation at 1-800-GOT-HURT or visit them at texastriallawyer.com, principal office in Houston, Texas.
Mazana Construction is celebrating 52 years as an award-winning, family-owned and operated business excelling in general construction and construction management. Mazana Construction is proud to support Connally ISD's tradition of excellence in education and athletics, including owners calling Connally High their alma mater, Vicky Mazanik, class of 1974, and Aaron Miner from the class of 2002. Mazana Construction, celebrating 50-plus years by building trust with quality work. MazanaConstruction.com.
First Central Credit Union has expanded our playbook. Ready to kick off as a first-time home buyer? Having a hard time making the first down? First Central's open door mortgage loans up to 95% of the appraised home value. Our starting lineup includes low closing costs, no points, low origination fees, flexible terms, and competitive rates. Thinking about mortgage refinancing? This way works for you too. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We are opening doors to home ownership at First Central.
Some restrictions apply. Rates subject to change. Equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
Have you seen the bleachers and grandstands at Baylor University, McLennan Community College, throughout Waco, Midway, Riesel, Mart, Marlin, La Vega, and Connally ISD? They all have one name in common, Sturdisteel, an industry-leading fabricator of engineered seating solutions. There's no substitute for knowledge and experience. Sturdisteel has both, with more combined experience in the business than anyone else in the industry. Sturdisteel is quality from the ground up. We don't just build grandstands and bleachers, we build trust. Sturdisteel.com.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Tonight's game highlights are brought to you by Stonewood Dental. Stonewood Dental is your one-stop shop for all your dental needs, and your comfort is our priority at stonewood-dental.com.
Many highlights to get to in the Connally 56-22 win against Gerald. And it didn't take long. Connally needed a spark early. They needed to look good early. They needed to look good tonight. And it took the opening kickoff to send a message. Here's the kickoff, and this is Mcdonald. Had a 65-yarder last week and comes this way and turns the corner, and Lamarcus at midfield cuts it back to the right. Lamarcus runs over one of his own players. He's going to take this for a score on the opening kickoff. Lamarcus Mcdonald, 75 yards. Donald is a big play, 68-yard catch and run earlier this year. Remember, 75-yard kick return last week in the game, and the loss to Salado had a 65-yard kickoff return, 7-0 Connally 15 seconds into the game. And then Connally got the ball back after stopping Gerald on a fourth down at their 19-yard line. And on the first play from scrimmage, remember the 75-yard kick return, then Trey Weisner had himself a night. Weisner turns the corner. Watch out. 50, 40, 20, 10, 5. Oh, they're going to mark 15. Him out at the 15-yard line. I never saw that, man. What an explosive run by Weisner. 66-yard run by Trey Weisner would set the tone for a huge night for him. That led to a Weisner touchdown run, 14-0 with 8:45 to go in the first quarter, and Connally was not done. Next drive, 3 plays and 60 yards. First and goal from the 3. Gaither, this is Powell left side, stops short, leans across, and scores. Touchdown, Connally. Touchdown, Powell. Jermone Powell laid over an offensive lineman into the end zone, a 2-yard run, 21-0, 3-play, 60-yard drive. And then it was not over. The first quarter, another long punt return by Gaither for a touchdown was called back for a blindside block, but Connally did not blink. Late in the first quarter, Trey Weisner yet again. This is Weisner. Huge hole off the right side, and he will score. Touchdown, Connally. Trey Weisner just shot through a keyhole. 12-yard touchdown run, extra point good. First quarter, 28-0. Gerald would recover a Connally fumble, and then inside the Cadets' 30-yard line, down 28-0 to see if they could get themselves on the scoreboard. It took 6 plays to do it. Edgar back to throw in the gun. Throws a deep fade. He's got a man open in the end zone. Caught it. Touchdown. That's a heck of a throw. And Crathers right in the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Derek Warren ran it in for 2, 4:34 to go second quarter, 28-8 Connally. And they weren't done. They went on yet another drive, 49 yards in 3 plays, and Trey Weisner wrapped up a spectacular first half. Handoff right side, corner, Weisner down the sideline, and he will score. Touchdown. He is a man among boys right now. 175 yards rushing in the game. 3 touchdowns for Weisner. Connally led 35-15 at halftime. Gerald would get an interception to start the third quarter, but did nothing with it. And then all of a sudden, Connally turned on the afterburners, and they went 6 plays, 69 yards. They emptied the bench and played many people on offense. Wiggins up the middle. Jamari spins away, gets to the sideline. Jamari 10. He will score. Touchdown, Connally. 34 yards. 4:07 to go, third quarter, 42-15 Connally. That's a 69-yard scoring drive. They get it back, and they go 61 yards in 6 plays. And they give it to him again off the left side, and Ashton Brooks Williams will score. Touchdown, Ashton Brooks Williams. He had a 30-some-yard run to set all that up. He couldn't quite get in and finally did. Extra point good, 49-15. He did it on offense with the touchdown run, and the very next play did it on defense as well. Derek Warren, who went over 1,000 yards, and they give it to Torres, and he's hitting the backfield, and the ball is loose, and Connally recovers. Weathers is the one that created the fumble, and Ashton Brooks Williams recovered. Ashton Brooks Williams scored. Ashton Brooks Williams gets a fumble recovery thanks to Weathers on the hit. And that would then cap off the scoring for Connally as they only had to go 19 yards in 3 plays. And here comes another sophomore in Jelani McDonald. McDonald keeps it here. Tries to get around the corner, and he has a first down inside the 10. Jelani fights for the goal line and scores. Touchdown. What an effort by Jelani McDonald. Wow. So McDonald scores from 10 yards out, 56-15. Crathers would score for Gerald to wrap up the scoring, 56-22. Connally wins against Gerald. They are now 4-3 on the year, 2-1 in the district, tied for second place with China Spring, and back to wrap it all up. 56-22, Connally beats Gerald on 106.7 FM, The Eagle, and Sikkim 365 Radio.
The Sikkim 365 Radio High School Football Showcase is sponsored by the U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company at GoArmy.com or 254-598-8131.
Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
It was broad daylight. I stepped into a gas station for 5 minutes to grab a snack, and just like that, my car was broken into. They made out like a bandit. My laptop, my phone, everything. I called my agent to see what could be done, and he restored my faith in humanity. My claim was processed so quickly, and I was able to recover my losses.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Sikkim 365 Radio's coverage of Texas high school football is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, protecting Texans for over 50 years. J.D. Power, highest customer satisfaction among auto insurers in Texas, 9 years in a row.
All right, we're back to wrap it up from Cougar Stadium, just off of I-35 in Gerald, Texas. We'll get on the highway, head up north, drive through Salado, and then eventually Belton and Temple and all the way up into Waco. We'll be there a little bit later on tonight. Thanks to a lot of different people. Thanks to Deontay Epps from his social distancing location, helping with the highlights to get him set. Thanks to Ryan Davis for spotting tonight. And also thanks as well to all of our incredible sponsors of Connally Football and what we do with high school football coverage on Sikkim 365 Radio. And Masonic Construction, Sturda Steel, Graham Properties, and Parsons Roofing, American Bank, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We, of course, appreciate them, the McLennan County agents, and also Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and Waco, the U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, with what they do as well. Thanks to Chewy back at our studios. He's had a long night with us. We appreciate you, Chewy. Thanks for your help as well, and all of what you do all the time, along with Hector and JC and Mr. McCutcheon as well. So that's a lot of what's going on today. For Paul Catalina, thanks as well to Craig Smoke, Ryan Davis. I mentioned Deontay as well. Thanks to everybody that's a part of the broadcast. Final, Connally 56 and Gerald 22. I'm David Smoke. Good night from Gerald, Texas.
You've been listening to Connally Cadets Football on Sikkim 360.